Hello and thanks for tuning in today. My name is Doris. I am Cap MMA's virtual assistant. Our hosts are currently sending out invitations as our team gathers. During this time, feel free to send out invites of your own or submit your mic request, and we'll get you approved as soon as we get back in stream. Tonight is our Tuesday night feature, the On Topic MMA show, a space for discussing mixed martial arts' most recent headlines and controversies. We'll open up with about 30 minutes of hot topic debate, followed by this week's fight announcements. After that, it's pressure points. These are discussions about recent headlines and news that affect MMA on larger scales. Remember, the entire space is open mic by system of raised hands. We encourage everyone to have a voice. Thank you for your patience while we finish setting up. This show is presented by CapMMA.com, the best place to get MMA moneyline odds.
What's happening, boys?
Yo,
That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. The music was good, man. AI was
dude.
really good. I'm very well impressed, Joe. Good work, bro. Good work.
I'm
Chip,
sitting
I
over
feel
here
like-
dancing and shit. I'm like, yo, what's up?
I'm like, I don't know if the audio's coming through. I gotta work out I'll smooth it a little more, and then I'm just gonna cut it. That was kind of live. I had it in the reader and the music playing live, but
It sounded great though.
yeah, I'm giving myself a few more days in case I want to change the wording a little, and then I'm
Yeah.
just gonna cut it, and that'll be the open for now on.
But the quality of it was great. Like it wasn't fuzzy or anything.
Nice. I just stick my phone in a certain spot where I'm like, I know it'll pick it up right here. So that's cool.
It was real professional, man. It really gave me some like real sports radio vibes. So
I'm
I
over
definitely
here
like that.
cracking up about it, but you know what? It does help. I'm not gonna lie. It's better than that dead fucking air, bro. I hate the dead air that spaces have at the beginning. I'm not like talking shit or nothing. I wished Andrew would have gave me the request before he sent invites, because I joined immediately because I just hate it. I just like to get anything on the air as fast as we can. I don't know why. I just feel like it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, but the reason why I do that is because I know you're gonna ask me if I sent out the invites anyways. So
Yeah, I'm not going to anymore, though, because our virtual assistant will let everybody know that you are, which will remind you in case you forgot.
we can do that.
How'd you like the name? Darce. I had a chick name, and her name was Kimura, but her pronunciation fucking sucks. So I had to go with
Keep
that.
Dars. Dars is a badass, bro. Dars is like some Jarvis, like Tony Stark shit. Like that was badass.
Yeah, he's I don't know. It's pretty cool. Anyway, hopefully some people pile in. Average Avenues, how are you, bro?
I'm still struggling, not gonna lie.
Forever I called you wait. Yeah, so it's Avenues Average at your at. That's what it is. The shit here gets me every time. Well, man, I hope everything's coping out well. I will in no way put your business out there, belittle it. I'll just say that loss is
it's okay, I tweeted it. So
yeah. Loss is just part of what it is, man. It is life's great recycle. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, but and I'm not belittling it. There's no stopping it, brother. So you'll be all right.
yeah.
Anyways, I'm starting to GoFundMe for the first guy to knock out Ian Gary. I don't care who it is. I think everybody should donate $1 and get their buddies to donate $1. And just whoever knocks him the fuck out, we give them the money. Like, I fucking hate that guy, bro. I can't fucking stand him. Like, and I like the dude. I met him at Fight Week. I'm like, Ian Gary was he was all right. He wasn't like great, but I was like, he was kind of all right. I didn't have no problem with him, but I can't fucking stand that guy anymore, bro. Like, I can't.
Joe, tell me how you really feel, man.
Bro, like, do you follow? I don't know how much of I do the topic show.
Catastrophe.
Yeah, I do the topic shows, so I see all of it, all the shitty posts.
You guys cucking around?
Yeah, he's no, bro. Now I don't know, bro. He's just now he's gonna beat Jeff Neal like a dog or something. I don't know what the fuck this guy is doing, bro. He's
Dude, I am about to put my house on Jeff Neal's. How much I hate that motherfucker.
yeah, and like I feel like he's got to be coming apart at the seams.
Rhino, do not do that to your family, bro. I mean that with sincere honesty. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait till they fucking rip that little vegetable in half and throw him across the fucking room. Fucking Black History Month. He gonna kick their ass.
Whoa.
Jeff Neal.
That's
what I'm doing for Black History Month. What are you doing, Joe?
You're betting on Jeff Neal? What the
Yeah.
bro? I can't even entertain this conversation. UFC 2. You either just got us in the YouTube algorithm or kicked off of it. I'm not even fucking sure.
One of the two.
All right, so Eljo has been pretty insistent, and I just want to get a scratch it or bet it. Shout out Eljo, because I mean he's been on this like 3-4 times. UFC 299 is overstacked to compensate for Sean O'Malley to make him look like a star. Scratch it or bet it.
Bet it.
Yeah, I'll bet it. I think they can. I mean, he looks like a freaking crazy person, and that's what sells in Hollywood and a lot of the people that watch a lot of sports entertainment and spend a lot of fucking money on it. So I'll bet it.
Yeah, see, I'll bet it too. I think they're trying to give him the push that way. Andrew, what do you think? Andrew's not there.
One more time. You caught me in between bites, man. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Like Mao's a gigantic sandwich every goddamn show.
It's all right. Let him finish the sandwich. I got a few of them here to go. Average, go ahead.
The thing is with O'Malley, he could be the superstar that he claims he is if he wasn't such a dope on the mic.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like I don't know. I feel like he kind of lives inside of a gimmick a little bit and like doesn't really
It could help.
Doesn't
I'll
open
rephrase,
up.
it could help.
Like some guys aren't afraid to embarrass themselves or look corny or look cheesy, and those are the guys that you typically fall in love with because they're just being themselves out there. I do feel like O'Malley's trying to sell it all the time. So I do feel like he's got some. I don't feel like he's as big of a star as we're sold to be. I feel like his social media is probably huge for the people in the UFC with all the Twitch and shit that he does. So, to them he's a big star, but to the pay-per-view buying fan, I don't think that Sean O'Malley is that big of a star. So I could see it. I could see how they're trying to make a big card for the guy that's big over there. I don't know. I do. I at first I kind of was like, Aljo's being a hater.
At this point, Joe, don't you think they've done enough research to realize the best way of trying to blow these guys up and make them big stars is not just going to go the old school Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson way, where you're the big shot because you're knocking people out. And that's the reason why you go wild and viral and everybody buys everything. So now in today's time, they're realizing that streaming is, catastrophically growing way faster than they ever can do. So going to our target audience is just trying to get people who love streaming and understand the internet, and the internet's their life. And Sean Malley looks exactly like that.
Well, and as Dana White,
he looks like a clown.
Plays with the metaverse and needs the
Yeah.
build the fighters that may be part of that type of community. Sean O'Malley is probably that guy, so he's probably looked at it a different way. All right, we only have so much on hot topics here, so and I want to try to stick to it. Mike Perry and Darren Till recently appeared in public together. They did a little bit of a face-off, not like a proper face-off or anything. They were getting along, but Darren was kind of getting pumped up being around Mike and called him little and said that the fight to make all along was him and Darren or him and Mike. And, I like Darren and all. I just want to say if there's a bare knuckle fight between Darren Till and Mike Perry, bet your fucking house on Mike Perry. He will beat the shit out of Darren Till. I don't I don't care how tall Darren Till is.
Mainly because it would be probably a close line. I think people would actually believe Darren Till could do something.
Oh yeah, you'll see that too. You're gonna see people that cross over in BKFC that get a little bit of book favoritism for no good reason. But Mike Perry's not the one to test that shit against in BKFC.
These crazy motherfuckers.
I've never felt those two like actually hated each other. It's always seemed like a fun competitive.
Oh, Mike Perry has always wanted to knock Darren Till out, in my opinion.
I know that, but there's always
Mike
been a
Perry
lot
wants
of
to knock
joking as well.
everybody out.
No, I think he really thought Darren was like a soy boy type. Like, I don't even talk like that, but Mike does.
I think
he
the raw
probably
dog
is.
thing. I think the whole raw dog website thing. Rubbed Mike Perry the wrong way. I will say that, but other than that,
you guys know Darren lost his ass on Raw Dog because somebody else had Raw trademarked over in Europe or wherever he did that at, and he got cease and desist orders and all. He had a bunch of money invested into it and shit, and it was over. He wasn't smart enough to put a new name on the can. What a fucking moron.
At least he had enough money to get his cover-up tattoo.
That's about all he had the money for. He was selling his clothes on eBay or some shit not that long ago, and I'm not kidding about that.
That's only because you bought some, Joe. That's only because you bought some.
Well, you know, they were nice shoes, and
same size, you know. I mean, come on.
MMA has 2 new rules. There's a guy who I've been following for a while. His name is Eric Magraken. I probably say the last name wrong. If you check him out at Eric Magraken, ErikMagraken. I like to give guys credit when I'm using their audio and stuff. He is Canada's favorite ambulance chaser, combat sports regulatory lawyer, MMA boxing judge, author of CombatSportsLaw.com. 2 new MMA rules have been passed by the ABC. They are yet to be adopted by any of the rule set. What is the word I'm looking for? I switched screens. Any of the rules. God damn it. The committee.
Talking like the original rules.
The rules that they all use. What is the term for that?
Unified
rules. Yeah, so that none of the commissions have picked it up as part of the unified rules yet, but the ABC passes it first is how it works. Here, I'm going to let Eric's video explain it. I posted a video clipped up of it on the CAP page with a link to his profile where you can check it out. But he best explains it. I'm not going to just plagiarize him. I'd rather let you hear him and then decide if you want to go follow him.
2 new rule changes were just voted on in mixed martial arts. Here's what they are, and here's what it means. The first rule is the 12-6 elbow, the straight up and down elbow. It's a foul. It's been a foul for many years since the unified rules were first created. This week, the ABC's MMA rule subcommittee voted to remove that as a foul. So that's a pretty straightforward change. The second is the definition of grounded fighter. Now, a grounded fighter can't be kicked to the head and can't be kneed to the head. So defining grounded fighter is very important, and there's been some controversy over how it's been defined over the years. The rule subcommittee voted to clarify and simplify the language. In short, the new language says that to be grounded, you need something other than your feet and your hands to be touching the ground. So it doesn't matter if your hands are touching, doesn't matter if they're weight bearing or not, something other than your hands and feet have to be on the ground to be grounded, like your elbow, like your knee, or sitting down, but something other than the feet and hands. So that's a very simple and easy to understand definition, and it's objective. Now, here's what it means. Just because this was voted on doesn't automatically make it so. The MMA Rules Subcommittee now approaches all of the commissions, and this summer in Kentucky, these proposals are going to be brought forward, and all of the voting state and tribal commissions get a say. If the majority say yes, these rule changes are going to come in, and
okay, so I'll cut it there. But that would have made the kick that Nasruddin Amivov was deducted a point for in the fourth round in this past week's main event, legal. Which, looking at the kick, it should have been legal. He purposely was trying to tap the ground just so that his opponent couldn't do anything. He wasn't trying to intelligently defend. He was trying to tap the ground.
Wasn't
I'm
dude
very happy
staring
about it.
at the ref too?
Laura Sanko, yeah, he kept looking at the ref. Laura Sanko commented about it. I don't want to clip her audio for just because that's the UFC and ESPN stuff. And if we lose a clip or something, if it has something like that, fine. But I don't want to lose a space anywhere for it. So, yeah, I'm not going to clip that. But Sanko talked about it right on the air. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
On Sanko?
No, on the new rules.
I like them. I think they make sense. I think it's funny, and I'm not bashing on it. I just think it's kind of smart. But we all know who started that fucking hands to the ground for the down rule. We all know who started that shit, and he was good
Pussies. That's who
at it.
started.
No,
Oh,
it was John, bro. John did that shit back in the day, but it was smart. It's take advantage of the rules, right? The 12-6 elbow, yeah, obviously the direction shouldn't matter. It's an elbow.
So
Obviously, you're
John
trying
Jones
to
will appeal, right? I'm not cutting you off. I'm asking you. I'm throwing that in. John Jones will now appeal, right? Based on the fact that they legalized the strike.
He will 100% appeal. I don't know how it's going to go, but yeah, he will 100% appeal. Absolutely. I mean, and he should, whether it happens or not, like whether he gets approved or not, you should at least try because it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like with all these weed ones, you know what I mean? Like, can you think about how many fucking no contests there have been just because someone fucking smokes weed? And then nowadays it doesn't even fucking matter as long as you don't smoke the day of. So yeah, I 100% approve and agree with these new rule changes for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally on board, and I think John will finally get it. They've tried to help him appeal. Even the UFC has tried to help him appeal before. So I think he'll get it. Better times. Go ahead, bud. Welcome to the mic tonight.
Hey, yeah, actually, I like the 12-6 elbow. I always hated that rule, and I believe with that, John Jones should appeal. I think with the amount of time and effort that Dana White has put into fucking trying to get that one off his record, I think it's a better chance now, and he can finally be undefeated because he is undefeated technically. But I don't know how I feel about the hand rule. I believe it's like if it's weight bearing, then yeah. But if that changes, then that's just gonna force a lot of people just to take a knee and give up position. So I don't know. That's just a little thing I thought about right then and there.
So I'm giving Andrew his credit for calling John out about being the guy who really exposed just tapping the ground. And I know how you feel about weight bearing. Like I get it. But I do agree. If you want to be safe, give up position. The rule is that if you're not intelligently defending yourself, you're not doing what you're supposed to be. If you're in a position where you could get choked out or mounted or anything like that, and your instinct is to tap the ground in a real fight, nothing stops. We do
Dude,
have
do you
some
remember
rules to
that
protect
fight
people.
like a few months ago where the dude he had it he had him around his back. He had double clinch around his waist,
And
and
it
dude
was
was just
legal.
playing with the ground like he was going up and down, up and down. And so the ref would be like, he's downed, he's good, he's down, he's good. And I'm just like, okay, this is a clear like manipulation that should not be happening. Like at that point it's like you got to think about integrity, you know what I mean?
100%. 100% agree with that. Uzman, nice to have you on the mic tonight, brother. Go ahead.
What's up, boys? I'm doing this from the car right now, so I don't know how I sound.
Like you're
But
doing it from the car, but who cares?
all right. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that still doesn't fucking fix anything when it comes to Aljamain Sterling. Like when he got kneed by fucking um Jan, he was one knee on the ground, and then throughout the whole Cejudo fight, it was knees on the ground. So I guess we're getting a little more clear with the rule, but people still gonna fucking use it to their advantage when they can.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think you can change any rule at any given time, and someone at some point is going to find a way to manipulate that rule. It happens every year. I mean, you think about like what the Eagles are doing in football with the tush push. You know what I mean? Everyone's mad about it, but it's like, well, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just fucking good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I am a believer that if you're not on your belly, knees should be legal. The knees to the head should be legal unless you're on your belly or torso, you could say, meaning flat on your back. Which I don't have a problem with flat on the back. I don't agree with the gut down, chest down position because sometimes, yeah, that like real damage could happen there more so than other places. But yeah, I'm not totally against the knees and shit. So like I'm glad that we're getting closer to a point where being down is all the way down. I don't know. I think the rules are going to open up over the next few years. I don't want to ramble off on it, and that's what I was kind of going to do, and I stopped myself there. I'm going to skip on. I got no hands up. Kind of touched on that. That's the Nazardine thing. I did a write up, but there's no need to that. Okay, so Izzy says there's no need to fight AP again because he already beat him. Like I can't, bro. What the fuck? Like, oh, when AP offered to go down and they asked Izzy if he would fight AP and shit, or if he would go up, Izzy said, "I already beat him. I got no need to beat him, bro." I think AP beats him 9 out of 10 times, and I know AP beats him at least 3 out of 4 times. So like, I don't, what the fuck? I'm going somewhere with this though. I'll take any comments you guys got in a minute. So it is now. Is Connor here? Yes. It is now. I love you, Connor. It is now being rumored that a double co-main event could be in the works, which is bullshit because the second one that people are talking about is Izzy Chimaev, and I don't think that would be the co-spot. But here's the smoke to the fights. It's AP versus Tom. Now, I know that I was talking about it weeks ago and I brought it up, so you guys think I'm just pushing it, but that's not the case. AP has officially moved to heavyweight. He's made it clear. He said he's making the change to his body and the change to his weight. Um, he recently posted some banger ass footage. John Jones commented on it, said he looks sharp. AP wants to go train with John. John seems to be receptive to that. And so, which means John wants that feel, AP wants that feel. They want that touch. They want to know. Um, so they're starting to mingle back and forth. Smoke the other way. Chimaev said he was promised a UFC 300 title shot against the winner of the DDP Sean Strickland fight. No, yeah, I believe that was the fight he said he was promised it for. Then he called out Izzy on 300. After he was all mad about that, he recently, not that long ago, called Izzy out on 300. Izzy then posted back the 300 movie poster with "The Gods Must Be Crazy," and we all know he's been training lately. AP was flying to London today. I don't know what that really seems to matter, but it was just in the socials and I noted it. So that's I could repeat what I've said before. So I would say it looks like the UFC is considering trying to create a 3 division champ to fight John Jones in place of Stipe. I know there are guys here who heavily feel like Tom should get that fight. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying right now is Tom may have to knock AP out to be in the talks or stay in the talks because it looks like the UFC may be gunning to try and build what I have anticipated and just whatever. It's starting to look that way. Connor, go ahead.
Man, I don't even know what to say. I obviously, everybody knows I think Tom should get the next title shot at heavyweight. But I'm not even gonna like address that because that's kind of not even relevant right now. I don't even fuck. AP literally just moved up to light heavyweight and now he's moving up to heavyweight. I just hate that. I mean, that division has been in shambles since John left, and it's not even John's fault. Like he's allowed to move up, but it's just like been bad luck throughout that division since then. It can't get a steady champion. People getting hurt. People having to vacate. Draws. Just man, can we just get some stability or something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really like the fight, but that's just me.
So I was recently, I don't know, pondering or looking at, I go through rankings. I do all types of shit. I'm an MMA guy. I fuck with it all the time. And, the other promotions really have hurt the UFC in the bigger weights. I'm not saying that all the guys outside of the UFC are great or the top guys, but when those type of guys fight each other, they get better, they get sharper. And I think if you had all the guys that are over in Bellator, PFL, maybe. I know PFL don't have a ton. So, mostly Bellator and, the few one guys that probably would have came to the UFC if given more opportunity, we would have the division we want. But that's considered a monopoly now, and we're never going to get it back. So I think light heavyweight may be there, too. I feel like heavyweight is definitely there, and I think that light heavyweight might be there. I feel like the market share may really prove how weak those, may be what dealt the blow that have made these divisions so weak. And it's not even weak like I'm talking shit about the fighters. It's just the great talent that you used to feel the top 10 and 15 were all killers. Now you feel like, man, those guys are really good, but you look at it and you're like, okay, but there's 5 gatekeepers. And that's how you feel. So I don't know. I feel like some market share could be reflective of that. Joe Rogan got a new $250 million deal with Spotify. They will change the deal. He can now post his content everywhere. Prime, I know for sure. I believe YouTube. I think Rumble. But he can post his stuff everywhere. I'm sure they've worked out a way where they're getting oodles of money to Spotify is. So good for Joe. Don't have much to say about it. Just it's MMA related because it's Joe Rogan. Henry Cejudo said that if he loses to Merab, he's retiring. We talked about that before. He also cited that he's fighting for vengeance recently and for financial compensation. Is Henry Cejudo a fade for these very reasons? Scratch it or bet it.
Repeat the scratch it or bet it.
So Henry said specifically that he's retiring if he loses to Merab. He is fighting for vengeance and he's fighting for financial compensation.
Sounds like he's gonna lose.
I swear on my life, bro.
Sounds like he's gonna lose.
I swear it.
If his mind is on everything but the fight, that's not a good sign.
And DC recently commented and said that he heard that Henry actually had a really hard time getting back into training for his last fight, and that it was not easy for him to get back in the gym physically. Just found that fucking interesting. Better, you were up first. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's losing to Marab either way. Marab is just that good. He had a good opportunity to beat Aljo. I believe if he fought the fight he should have fought, he would have beat Aljo. But he let his ego get in the way. He tried to out wrestle him, and Aljo's just a bigger guy, so he couldn't get the better of Aljo. So now he's in the position he is in, and he's going up against who is probably going to be the champion. The next champion is Merab Dvalishvili. And that guy does everything. He doesn't have the best striking, but his feints and timing make up for all that. And it showed up against the Piotr Jan fight, how he was able to pause Piotr Jan because of his feints and his little off rhythm timing of his strikes. I fucking love watching him fight. He's improved so much. Merab is gonna run through Cejudo, and that's gonna be the end if that's the case. And I'm a Cejudo fan.
I feel the same way. I feel like Marab is just at that point, and it's not anything to do with Henry. Connor J.
Yeah, I agree. I think Marab is going to win as well. I just think that he's on the rise. I think he's hot right now, and Cejudo's a bit past his prime, I think. But all the things that you were saying, Joe, about Cejudo, that reminds me of when Andrade was fighting Mackenzie Dern, and I'm pretty sure it was one of those two. They were going like some personal problems, and you were like fading
Mackenzie.
one of them. It was Mackenzie, yeah, because she was like going through, I think, like a divorce, and then like she was switching gyms and whatever.
Yep.
This kind of it doesn't sound exactly like that, but he sounds like he's not all the way in. You know, if he's already talking about like if he loses, he's gonna retire. Like that's not what you want to hear in a fight like this. So I kind of agree. I think he was gonna win. I think Marab was gonna win before that. But if you're a Cejudo fan, I don't think this is good news.
I feel the same way. Yeah, I feel the exact same way. So what's next on the list here? I got trying to keep things moving at once. Fury versus Usyk is postponed. The Briton suffered a freak cut in training. Is what the headline that I actually read first said. I thought that it was, I just like the way it was termed there. It was an elbow. Who the fuck throws an elbow? Yeah, whatever. Not much to say about it, I guess. However, I don't know if anybody's seen Tyson Fury posted a body transformation photo. He is not looking Tyson or Francis Ngannou jacked, but man, he looks thin, looks in shape. I'm wondering if getting dropped by Francis Ngannou when he's supposed to be the GOAT, if that shit wasn't a wake up call, because he looks good. And he didn't switch trainers or anything. He's been with his trainer for a while, a few years, I believe. So I don't know. Thought it was pretty cool. Good for Tyson. I know he struggles with a lot of mental health things, and I know that being at the top for so long, like they say, it's hard to stay hungry. He's admitted to that, and he's admitted to struggling with that and having a hard time keeping his head in the game because of it. So, man, he looks great. I hope that it transfers over. Better times, and then YB. Go ahead, better.
Just real quick, I just looked up the photo. Yo, everyone needs to look at this photo. He looks fucking he looks good. Like he looks like he got himself ready. And if that does transfer over, everybody's in trouble.
Yeah, he looks. He looks. Man, you didn't think you would see Tyson Fury look that good again, in my opinion. YB, nice to have you on the mic, bro. Get it.
What's up, everybody? I was just wondering if this picture you're talking about is the one of Johnny Sins. Because there's one, I don't know if you guys are talking about like an actual Tyson Fury, but I saw a picture of Tyson Fury and Johnny Sins, or the before and after. The before was fat Tyson Fury, the after was Johnny Sins,
No, no,
the
no, no.
rich
This
porn
is
star.
Tyson Fury's trainer posted it. It's
It's like
just him.
actually him.
Oh yeah, it's 100% him, and
Okay, I was just making sure because I saw a picture earlier. All right, I'm
he's
gonna look it
looking
up.
slim. Yeah, I got the link, but it's an IG link. Here, let me go ahead and copy this. I'll post it over in the group chat, and maybe somebody can figure out how to get it up on the board here because I'm in the middle of the space. But here, I've got the link. It's only a couple seconds here in the chat. And then, can I get in the comments here? Yeah, I bet you I can get in the comments here so everybody here can see it. Cap MMA, listen live. Here we go. Start listening. If in it the comments here? Yeah, I bet.
The hell was that?
I think he was trying to figure out how to send up that message up on the board, how we have
All
it.
right, so I opened the browser and it was lagging behind, but the comment should have posted. Oh, it did. It did. There you go. There's a link to the. Oh, you can see it halfway. Look at that. I came through. I got a new trick. I'll figure out how to do it better next week, guys. I'll have 3 things to post in there. He looks fucking great though, huh? Like there's no question about it. He looks fucking great. So good for him.
Yo, that's dope. I just saw that. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him return, man. He's got good feet even when he's heavy. Like boxing, it's different. He's got good feet. He's got good feet even when he's heavy, bro. Man, he could look real nice. Usman, go ahead.
I guess he changed his mind.
Yeah, never mind. All right. Kevin Lee's coming out of retirement.
Yay!
So here's what they need to do. It's not clear if he's going to be in the UFC. He says MMA. He will fight MMA. What about Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson?
Oh God.
Oh God, spare me.
Take the fucking draw.
I could see the UFC giving him a call. I mean, hey, buddy.
I think
We
Dana
need
White
Tony
met
the
with
new
David
opponent.
Feldman last week, and he might be trying to make some trades.
Hey, that could be possible too.
Or get rid of some weight. Like, look, can you take these motherfuckers? Because I can't do nothing with Kevin Lee or Tony Ferguson, bro. But
Somebody needs to take Ankalaev.
Over in BKFC, people will pay to see them bleed. Better times. Go ahead.
Didn't the UFC release Kevin Lee like right after he got knocked out?
No, he got a badass contract and then got knocked and then got beat again, bro. He got like a brand new fucking deal. He was making a comeback.
Okay, if they do return him to the UFC, bet the house on his opponent, bro. He is not looking the same.
Yeah, like he got too much into his own gimmick. He got too much into thinking about being a fighter and knowing what it means to be a fighter and less into fighting. I watched him do it. And I have strong opinions about that. When you get into your own gimmick, you go to the WWE because you can't win a fight no more.
He could have been something special, man.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of talent. You can go back and watch it too. As soon as he started biting his own gimmick, bro, he was done. It really is that. Like, you can go back and watch the interviews, watch the fights, watch it all, because I kind of have. And that's where Kevin went bad. Former wrestlers are calling out WWE culture in wake of Vince McMahon lawsuit. I'm not going to overread it, but there are several of them, men and women, who are calling Vince shady. I'll mention Ronda Rousey said even when he left before due to sexual allegations, he was still running the company through WWE executive director Bruce Pritchard. I don't know who that is, guys. I'm really not.
Bruce Pritchard's been around wrestling since like the fucking 80s, I think, man.
Yeah, I probably would know him if I see him, but I've just been out of it that long, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember. And that would make
no, I'm just saying he's been around forever. That's all.
So, yeah, Brock's also been taken out of the creative process over at WWE. Yeah, I mean, Brock sent the messages, wanted to see her piss and all that other stupid shit, and Vince, yeah, whatever. It's clear that Vince tried to tell some chick to go sleep with Brock to get him to sign, and she was like, "Who the fuck do you think I am?" And now it's been pretty well known that the culture over there has been horrible, and Triple H has been the guy to really change everything. So,
bro, let me ask you something, because Vince, made this chick, sleep with multiple guys. Okay, the guy, oh my God, who was the guy you were just talking about?
Bruce Pritchard?
No.
Lesnar?
Lesnar, yes. So Lesnar's married, bro. So that means you're cheating on your wife. So I'm curious as to how many of these guys are now going to end up getting divorces now that this shit's coming out.
So I didn't see anything where it said her specifically multiple. What I seen that she had proof of was the way Brock spoke to her in text. He was asking her for like videos of her pissing. She offered nudes or something, and then he asked for that. Like he went straight to that, and then after he signed his deal, he said, part of the deal was fucking you or whatever he said, and I didn't actually see anything hard on Vince, but there were some text. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. There were some texts where Vince kind of told her indirectly, like, great job, whatever, whatever, whatever. I don't know. It's clear that it happened, but Vince was iffy with her, but Brock wasn't. And it kind of blows the whole fucking thing off the top of it. Is what it is. We're at 31 minutes. Because I know fight announcements are short, I'm going to take it to 40 just because I got a few, but I'm going to blow through them here. Rampage and Shannon Briggs is 100% official. Shannon never stops laughing at Rampage, and Rampage fucking hates it. He fucking hates it. Make sure you follow the lead up to that one. Even if you don't follow those guys, I promise it will be Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence hysterical fight lead up. I give you my word. These two will absolutely fucking deliver. Charles Energy says he can't get a ticket to the Apex, not even one for his wife. Andrew, you've been there. Is it that packed?
Okay. I don't want to use the word packed because they don't offer many seats. So I would say, okay, so they've got seats on two different sides of the octagon. If I had to guess, I would say there's maybe like 1 to 200 people there. Like there's really not that many people. But what I have noticed when I did go is that everyone has their wives, or at least everyone that kind of is a bigger name. So like I saw Cody Garbrandt with his girl. John Morgan was with his wife. Like just so many people have their spouses with them. But like I said, all these people have bigger names than Charles Johnson. So that's probably why. That would just be my guess.
Yeah, I do think it's crazy they can't get one. I can understand like we can't give you four. Like there's only a couple hundred seats here, bro. We got 24 to 30 fighters on the card. Like we can't give everybody 2 and 3 tickets. You'll fill half the place up.
Yeah.
I get it, but not one.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's I don't know. I'm that surprises me, to be honest, because
Tells me what they're selling them for now, probably because I know
well,
that they're
I would say that like if I had to put a percentage on it, I don't know, maybe like 30% of the people there are usually affiliated with fighters in some or like celebrities in some sort of way. So, I mean, it's not like many people are buying these tickets. Like a lot of people have hookups.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know that they're putting in 1,500 to 2,000 seats. I reported it like a year ago, and I just heard a fighter mention it. So it must be going down. Jeff, thanks for posting that. That's Brother Love in the comments, bro. I hit the like. Okay, I know who that is clearly. I know who he was before and after and all that shit. So I just didn't realize that was his name. He's totally the creep that would, yeah, 100%.
How many seats did you say they were adding?
1,500 to 2,000 is what was reported.
To the Apex?
Yeah, so basically, I
Oh.
assume they're going to blow a wall out and then add a whole section or do some overhead seating or something. I have no idea.
Blowing a wall out would be crazy because on the other side of that wall is where they do like all the weigh-ins and shit like that.
Yeah, but DC just mentioned that his whole dressing room was all new, or some shit in the Apex was all new, and he thought it was sweet. So, for them to move the weigh-in area probably isn't that big of a deal.
So them doing that, so then now what they're going to do is they're going to just like regular events, they'll have like pricing scales, right? So I don't know if anyone knows this, but like the Apex right now, because it is only 100 to 200 people.
I think it's for slap, Andrew.
Oh, maybe that is it. Because I was going to say, man, that
I think it's primarily for slap events because you can listen. He can sell 2,000 tickets at 500 or $1,000 a piece. That's what those tickets sold for. I seen some of them, and they sold apparently. So
for slap,
yeah, for slap, they were expensive as fuck, dude. Because you're right there in the Apex. You're right there. So smaller events, different things. It'll allow them to open up what they do on a bigger scale, but smaller scale. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense.
So if they do that, I'm honestly hoping they don't add those seats for the UFC events because I like the way it is. When you're there, trust me, it's different because it's all VIP. So everyone all goes to the back where there's an open bar and food, and that includes all the fucking fighters and commentators and celebrities and everyone who's there. It's just a different feeling. The more people you add, it's just the more crowded it's going to be. They're going to be changing, pricing scales and shit like that. I don't know. I think they should keep it the way that it is, at least for the UFC.
No, the UFC's only collecting gates, bro. They gotta sell gates. Their TV rights are sold. Dana builds revenue by building gates. Kamaru Usman, Marty Usman seems ready to return to fight. Scratch the opponent. Just what weight? 185, 170. I say stay at 185. Fight Bobby Knuckles if he gets a W. Fight Paulo Costa if he gets the W. YB.
Guys, I just want to let you know about a website called capmma.com for all your MMA resources and tools. I am about to go to sleep. It is about to be 11 o'clock. I have 13 minutes to somehow knock myself out. Everybody have a great night. Love you all. capmma.com. Motherfuckers. Might drop them out.
Later on, YB. Thanks for coming.
Joe, did you just say that he should fight Paulo if he wins?
Paulo or Rob, yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you were just saying Paulo specifically because in order to win a fight, you actually have to fight. So
Yeah, so I hope he's ready to step in, actually. Because I think he can step in and get the Whitaker fight.
dude, that would be badass.
Yeah, I really think that could happen. So, Nick Diaz was pictured at UFC Vegas 85. Someone snapped a photo of him. He had a big ass cut on his hand. It wasn't bleeding. Looked like an open wound. They're calling it a scar. It did not look like a scar. And he looked like shit. I don't think
Bro,
Nick.
he had skin removed there. Like that wasn't like some scar or some rash. Like that was a thick piece of skin taken out of his hand. He must have done some shit, bro.
So they look like
Yeah,
staph to you guys. It looked like staph to me, but
that's what I was gonna say. Staff and
Oh,
that
then that
shit.
means he's training then, right?
I mean, them boys do jujitsu anyway. So like, I mean, when you're like, on the mats and shit, I would assume, especially for them, wouldn't it be easier to get? So I mean, I wasn't tripping, but yeah, Nick looks like shit.
Hey, I meant to tell you also. I looked up if you go into the volume control for the the streaming software and leave it up and turn your computer volume down dead, you can mute your computer if you're on your phone, and it should still stream all the volume. I looked it up.
I didn't even know that. I just plug in some headphones and I just let the headphones do all the work.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever works. I looked that up. All right, I got a bunch of them. So this is weird, bro. Is this motherfucker on some script shit. Themba Garimba revealed that he thinks he will get a title shot in 2024, and that the traditional ranking system will not apply to him because of his skills, and says that he's gonna stay ready and he wishes no injury on any other fighter, but has a strong belief that a situation will arise where a fighter needs to pull out due to injury and he will be chosen to step in.
Either this guy is a hell of a fucking storyteller or he knows something.
He got a free house from The Rock.
Yeah.
Maybe he
That's
got
what...
dirt on Dwayne Johnson and said, you're gonna make me a UFC champion. Usman, go ahead.
Well, we do know that a fighter just fell out from a scheduled bout coming soon. Vicente Luque is looking for an opponent, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Sean Brady dropped out.
Yeah, if he could knock out Vicente, he could. Bro, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, okay. Sage Norcutt recently pulled out of a bout in one FC because his team couldn't get passports, and I don't blame him. I don't care about the fighter or the fight. We don't talk one over here. The shit already passed. This fighter got an opponent. It was last week. I don't blame him. One did him dirty, setting him up with that fight that got him all fucked up. We all knew that he was in over his head. And so did Chatri. Chatri was trying to look sweet and get a UFC fighter fucked up, and he did. And Dana let Sage go because he said he needed to develop. So I see that Sage has got his guards up, and he's not maybe as naive to what's going on as he was before. And I think good for him. Ariel Hawani says there's another fight on 300 that is probably not a main event fight, but is not signed. Um, just like because of the DP and BSD shit that was going on. He then attacked anybody that didn't agree with him, that the reporters did nothing wrong or whatever. Ariel and his anti-fucking UFC shit has began to ruin even being able to watch him nowadays. I think Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison or Yuri versus Rakic could be the ones that are not officially signed yet. I don't know why. I just think that whatever. Whaley and Joanna are hanging out on socials together, which means they could be training together. Just to throw that out there. Whaley's got a big fight coming up. Eljo put on some fucking big weight. He looks like John Jones at 145. The way everybody looked at John Jones' body, Eljo looks the exact same way. Now that I know how to post the pictures, I'll have a picture for all this shit next time, guys. But yeah, Eljo put on some big ass weight. Very John Jones-esque. People were trolling him, but whatever. And
Joe, that doesn't. Why would he do that though? Because he was just saying that the reason why he's going up to 145 is because he's tired of the weight cut. So if he's putting on more muscle, he's gonna have a fucking hard weight cut.
It didn't look. He's not jacked though. He's not six packing shit no more. Is what I'm saying. He just packed on some pounds.
Okay.
You know how John? Everybody was like, John looks like a homer now. He kind of looks like a homer now. He doesn't really, but kinda, I guess. All right, last thing I got in hot topics. I knew we'd go a little over because you ain't got a ton over there, Andrew. Craig Jones broke down his steroid stack for the upcoming UFC Fight Pass Invitational match against Rafael Lovato Jr. Hey guys, I'm revealing my Fight Pass Invitational 4 steroid stack. So I'll be preparing for this Rafael Lovato after taking recovery seriously. And the cornerstone of recovery for me is steroids. 200 milligrams of testosterone, 200 milligrams of cypionate. That's a certain type of testosterone. 50 milligrams a day of Anavar. That's the one that makes you lose your hair the fastest. And then what else do you write? That's what I'll be taking for this Rafael Lovato match. Now you guys might think he's trolling. He's not. Submission grappling, steroids run absolutely fucking savage over there. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. But a dude being that open about it, I hope Dana White throws him off, man. You're literally, on an invitational for a company who, say what you want, bro. They are trying to build a clean sport because it benefits them. People can say all the shit they want about, oh, they want to let guys juice and this and that. No, they want to regulate what guys can take because their medical labs are more dedicated and spending more money and more time researching all this shit than anybody else is. So they want to be able to say, listen, that's legit because it helps people. It doesn't enhance their performance. Our people need to have this for this reason, for that reason, brain hydration, whatever the fuck it is. And there's nothing in it for them in 20 years for someone to dig in the files. They're already in an antitrust suit to see that they were figuring out how to let certain fighters cheat and shit, bro. It would fucking unravel them. It is not worth it. Their entire integrity of the UFC having built a sport is the drug testing program in the unified rules. So I hope he gets fucking kicked off the card. So I went way over, and that's all right. Here, let me lap that out. That's 46 clocked minutes of hot topics when I hit the button there. I like to review upcoming rankings. I get them live off the website, capmma.com. Not upcoming, recently updated rankings. So I'm looking at the UFC rankings for this week. Jonathan Martinez moved up 2. Cruz and Munoz moved down 1 apiece. I don't know why that makes sense. Stephen Thompson dropped 1, but nobody went up. Benoit Saint Denis went down 1. There's nobody going up. Alice Casera went down 1, but nobody went up. Nazardine Amivov went up 3 to number 8 at middleweight. Nazardine bumped Chimaev down to 9, Delise down to 10, and Hermanson down to 11. Yeah, we kind of already touched on that fight because of the kick and the penalty, and we're not really doing much review tonight. There's a lot of topics to hit. Sergey Spivak went up to number 8 at heavyweight. Tuivasa went down to number 9. Why? Did I miss a card? Why did all these people move?
Because the rankings don't make sense.
Because they're making that 165 belt for Conor.
If there's a date or something, if they're telling us if there's no activity after X amount of weeks, you know what? I bet there is if I fucking track it. I bet if I go in there and start tracking it, it's got to be a certain day when they start dropping them. Because even though I look at 2 guys as inactive, one may be 4 months more inactive than the other or something. I gotta fucking figure it out. Next week I'll have the answer to that. Natalia Silva went up 2 to number 7 at women's flyweight. Viviana Rougeau dropped 2 to number 9. Jasmine Jasdavicius moved up 1 to number 14, and Andrea Lee dropped down 1 to number 15. That is all of the rank movement. I'm gonna fold back really quick to this week's card. The no contest in the Muradov fight for the eye poke rendered that rendered Muradov unable to continue. So if I recall, and man, I was banging the space out so much today that I didn't look up this detail when I should have. Didn't old boy poke somebody in the eye last fight? I can't say his name. Alice Gahab. Didn't they? Isn't this a problem for this dude?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they even referenced it in the post-fight presser. But anyway, I got a problem where I'm starting to feel like this is a loss, bro. This is not a no contest anymore. Maybe I'm just being sensitive about it because we're seeing so many fucking eye pokes lately.
Why would it be a loss?
Bro, not like a DQ loss to the guy that poked him in the eye. If you poke somebody in the eye and the fucking fight can't go on anymore, why is it just a no contest now?
Because they're saying it wasn't intentional. If it was intentional, it would be a DQ, but they're saying it wasn't intentional, which is why it would be a no contest.
Yeah, but did you see his hands in the replay?
No, I know. I understand. I'm just giving you the logic behind it. I'm not saying I agree with it necessarily.
All right. Randy Brown got that shit done. Fucked up. Everybody's over, bros.
I'm so glad I laid off that over.
Bro, he fucked up everybody's overs because Randy got no gas, but bro, he knocked the old boy out. Moicano, oh yeah, he humped Drew Dober for 10 minutes. If you didn't see that one. I said Natalia Silva went up. Charles Radke is Charles fucking Radke and wants paid for interviews. Hey, I swear to God, we should DM him after this and see if we can get an interview. I just want to know how much he charges, so we can talk about it as a topic, and see if we think it would be worth it. What else do we got on that card? I just fucking auto scrolled. Molly McCann proved me wrong and shut me up. She knocked out. Well, she submitted, but she finished, is what I meant to say. She finished Belbita, and I was kind of shitting on her. Charles Johnson got the dub. Thrembo got the KO. Thembo is going to be a world champion in 24. I told you guys that. All right, that's it. I'm done with that card. Andrew, you got fight announcements, bro?
I do. Not a crazy amount or anything like that, but we do have a few changes for this upcoming card for this Saturday. Hyder Amil has had like 2 different opponents and they've both dropped out. So stepping in on 8 days' notice is Fernie Garcia. So you know how much I love short notice fights.
Yeah. Though, I'm at the point where I at least understand just don't bet him. Like, it's not even a big deal to, like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. For me, I finally just know, like, don't even try to find the edge. Just fucking forget it.
For sure. I agree. So Albert Duraev is out against Robert Brechik. So now Brechik is going to be taking on Ihor Pateria. That's from what I've heard, it's not looking good for Ihor, especially on short notice. He gets hit a lot. Next is Damir Hadjovic is out. So Balaji Oki will now face Timothy Kawamba. Yup.
Bro, do you bring Doom with every fight announcement?
I'm saying, who are these guys?
I'm saying, like, every fight you announce, someone that got taken out.
Yeah, those are. That's what I'm saying. 3 fights this week. 3 fights this week have lost opponents, and now there's like new opponents for short notice. 3 fights for this card, bro. It's insane. We're gonna move on to UFC Vegas 87 on March 2nd. This is actually gonna be a banger. Someone's dying. Vitor Petrino against Tyson Pedro. Who dies?
What?
Who
In
dies?
2 weeks? What
This is
day did you say?
March 2nd.
Okay, so a month. All right.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I'm
Who
betting
dies?
Petrino. I'm betting Petrino.
I think I will too. Let's see. Same card. Christian Leroy Duncan is going to be taking on Claudio Ribeiro. You know, I love me some Christian Leroy Duncan, so I'm excited for that fight.
Yeah, he's kind of like a fan favorite, surprisingly.
I like his style, bro. I'm a sucker for that style. Let's see. Same card again. We have one more fight announcement. Matt Danger Schnell will be taking on Steve Ursig. This is crazy, bro. Steve Ursig, I feel like has been around the UFC for like a year and a half now, or ish, and he's only fought once. That right? Like, I feel like I haven't seen this guy fight in forever.
I don't know. I'm not going to look it up for the sake of holding it up, but
He
yeah,
fought
he had to have
recently, I
fought
thought.
within the past year.
He
He
fought.
had to have fought within the last year.
Yeah, he got me a dub a couple months ago.
Against
Steve
who? Who'd he
Ursik.
fight?
You're talking about Steve Ursik?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, hold on. He got a dub
Like,
in 295 Prohaska Piera card on 11/11/23.
who'd he fight?
Alessandro Costa.
Why do I not remember that fight?
UD.
Did someone drop out? Is that why he fought him?
I actually think so. I actually think that's why. I
Because
think
his first fight was against Dvorak, and Dvorak was a ranked opponent. So he fought his first fight and automatically was like number 10. And then he fought an unranked dude. I feel like someone dropped out of that fight. I think it was Schnell, bro. I think it was supposed to be Schnell.
oh yeah. You're right. He had a canceled bout with Matt Schnell for that same date. Okay, I had to get over to because Tapology records all that. So yes, you are correct.
Yeah,
And he
so
got the
it
David
looks like they
Dvorak
rescheduled
fight.
it. Now it's on.
So David Dvorak must have stepped in because I take that back. So his fight with Clay Carpenter got canceled for May 20th, and then he fought Dvorak on June 10th.
Yeah, and that was like super short notice. We're gonna move on to UFC Vegas 89, March 23rd. This is actually going to be a fun fight, I think. Cameron Simon will be taken, or Simon will be taken on Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot, the new guy coming off the Contender Series. I think this should be an interesting fight.
Yeah,
Two very young guys.
I don't know how to bet it.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna have to watch some tape.
I can't say on that show that Peyton was like, oh my God, great. Maybe I got to go back and watch it again though. But he didn't stand out for me.
So he got taken down a couple times, but he got right back up. And once he was on his feet, he was styling on that kid.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I will go back and watch. Anyway, go ahead.
So UFC Atlantic City, March 30th, 1 week later. This was announced today, I believe. Melissa Gatto is going to be taking on Victoria Dudakova.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's okay. I think that fight should be over. Let's see. So there's a UFC event to be named later. It's on April 27th. We have Jonata Denise. He's going to be taking on Austin Lane. This is a heavyweight fight.
What's the over on that one?
I don't know. There's no way it's out though. I've got two fight announcements for UFC 301 May 4th. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but it's definitely going to be in Brazil, and I think it's going to be in Rio de Janeiro. So, but Alessandro Costa, speaking of, he's going to be taking on Kevin Boreas. And then finally, this is, ironically, the one I'm most excited for. Paul Craig is going to be taking on my man Caio Borralho. Let's go, Caio.
All right, that's a good fight. Just because that's a good fight. But Caio, yeah, it's a good fight because I think Caio could fare well from that.
Yeah, he's going to go down to the ground with him because he's not fucking afraid of him.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, that should be a good fight. I'll be excited to see that one.
That's all I got, man. That's it.
All right, so I always like to piggyback with the rumors and the call-outs off of that. Jared Cantonier has called for the Chimaev fight. My comment is Chimaev don't want that smoke. Man, I don't think Chimaev goes anywhere against Jared Cannonier. I think he is a fucking a 10-foot brick wall in the middle of a mud field, and you're just not gonna get over him. Connor, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're probably right that Hamza doesn't want anything to do with that. He probably just wants to straight up get the title shot. But I'm in favor. I think Jared should probably get the next title shot, and if they're not going to give it to him, that's like the perfect way for Hamza to get the belt or get the shot at the title. It's just like whether or not he can't do it, but like beating a guy like Jared, bro, nobody would have a problem with him skipping the line, I don't think. And if Jared beats him, then he steals some of that hype. So I think it's smart for the UFC, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's good either way. They're in a spot with Chimaev where if somebody like really beats him, it springboards them too. So they've protected what he's done correctly, I would say. Chris Curtis is considering a drop back down to 185. He wants to fight Paul Craig after the incident with Amivov over the weekend.
Did you say a drop down?
Yeah, he wants to drop back down to 185.
He doesn't fight at 205, bro.
I think it was going up to 205, and now he wants to says he's going back down to 185. That is what he said.
When did he say he was going up to 205? That would have been crazy.
I'm telling you, that's what it said.
He's not big enough for light heavyweight, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, I know what I read. I did not misquote
it. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying I never heard it. That's wild.
But he wants to fight Paul Craig. It doesn't even make no fucking... I don't know. I don't care.
Dude, he's fought at 170 before. Like, 205 would be a bad idea.
My thought is just make the Amivov fight. You're both dumb. Amivov said he doesn't want to run it back. Bro, you're both dumb. It's the
But
only heat either one of you got media wise. It's all you got. They can
but think
sell you
about it
guys.
though. Amivov is ranked what, 8 now, and Curtis is like 14 or 15. Why the fuck would he fight down solo? It makes no sense for him.
Yeah, I mean that is really fair. I just feel like neither one of them got any real media traction, and that could get them a little bit. Like you got to work with that when you're a fighter, bro. It's not,
Oh,
you
I'd
got
be
to
all
work
in
with
for
that.
that rematch.
Kobe versus Shavkat is reportedly in the works, and Kobe said that he was told take the Shavkat fight or get removed from the rankings. That was like in one of his babbles on a podcast. I seen it in one of the YouTube clips I watch on one of the channels that do like the 8 or 10 minute videos, whatever. But you know, they clip it out and you hear it. It was Kobe that said it. Um, yeah, like horrible look for him in my opinion. Connor, go ahead.
Yeah, I love that the UFC, if that's true, I don't really believe anything that Colby says, but if that's true that the UFC said that, like not ever shut up and fight an actual contender, bro, that's so cool. He's not gonna fight Shafkat though. He's just not built like that. He's not gonna fight a contender. He's probably gonna, like he said at the press conference after he lost, he's probably gonna call out Wonder Boy, who's old, coming off a loss, and then he'll probably try to do some MAGA shit and get another title shot. I mean, he's not fighting fucking Shafkat.
He did say that he thinks it's a way to actually get himself another title shot. He did say that. I don't I don't agree, bro. You're not getting a title shot, in my opinion.
I don't
Fuck
understand how
no.
Connor can just
Fuck
sit
no.
here and talk about his favorite fighter like that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That shit makes my skin crawl that you would even say that about me.
That's funny. Is that Vinny? What's happening, Vinny? I seen him request and I approved it. I don't know if he's coming on here to talk about this one. All right. Well, we'll just skip over that till he puts his hand back up. So UFC Atlantic City, March 30th. Sean Brady versus Luque is off. Luque's hunting for an opponent. Usman mentioned that earlier. I don't know if we announced this. Chris Weidman versus Bruno Silva is happening. Why the fuck is Chris Weidman still fighting, bro? In
Bro,
the
we
UFC.
we announced this a while ago.
Bro, I forgot. Why is he fighting? What is he coming back to? What? What?
He pro-
What?
I don't know, dude.
Bro,
Maybe he
like
wants money.
some guys, like go
Maybe
beat KFC.
he
Go.
might need money. Yeah, but dude, you go to B. That's the thing, though. You go to BFC and you're getting fucked up,
They've proven that it's like the safest combat sport where you get punched in the face. Connor, go ahead.
bro.
Yeah, it's a shame that the Sean Brady and Luque fights off. Sean Brady looked really good in his last fight. But yeah, I don't know why Chris is still fighting. His last fight against oh my bad.
They said no.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, I can't fucking believe you did that, bro. Damn it.
Just real quick, his last fight against the uh, what was it? What's it? Tavares was just so hard to watch. I don't think he should be fighting still, but I don't think BKFC would do him much good either because his wrestling is one of his biggest tools and he can't use that there. So I'll probably just get punched up the whole time.
Yeah, that's fair with Chris, but the reason I say that a lot of times for these older UFC fighters is because it really is true that in bare knuckle boxing, you take less head trauma, especially less long term head trauma, CTE type shit. You take more damage to the face. You definitely do more cuts, more contact damage, but trauma you take much less. So as these guys get older, I think BKFC is a great place for them. Way better than boxing. Boxing's known to have like the worst head trauma of all of them because of the bricks worth of tape they put in the gloves. So, yeah, like when I say it, it's not always an insult, man. I feel like they can get a paycheck. I feel like you might only have 3 UFC fights left in you, but you might have 6 or 7 BKFC fights in you, and people do want to see you. So like, it's not always a shot when I say that, like when I say Tony and Kevin there, like nobody's gonna want to see that in the UFC. Nobody, not even on a
Joe,
prelim.
BKFC like covers like all the hospital bills and shit, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they're a legit ass promotion, bro.
Okay. That makes it a little bit better, but it's like,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know,
if they
man.
have
Like,
health care. I know the UFC has health care now. Most people
right.
aren't aware of that. Like they have legit health care for fighters, first place to do that. I don't know if they have that, but yes, they pay all the medical bills, all the doctor bills for the
Can you
fighters.
imagine though, like you're 38, 39, 40 years old, and it's like that like the potential damage you could take in terms of like just
What?
physical pain. You could be losing teeth and shit. Like, do
No,
they really want to go
I
through
gotta
that
go
at
to the
that age?
office. Why?
Vinny, you got to mute out, bro. I got you. All right. Anyways,
My
yeah,
fault.
I
My
get what
fault.
you're saying, but all the guys that do it, Andrew, they love it. Chad Mendez, and Frankie Edgar can't wait to get back at it. Like, they all fucking love it.
Bro, didn't like Luke Rockhold lose a tooth and then say I'm done?
Yeah, Mr. Fucking, he was a model for, who was it? Calvin Klein? I don't know who it was. He was a model though, right?
I want to say yes.
Oh, he 100% was a model. I just don't remember who for. Okay. Anyway, Dominic Reyes versus Carlos Albert got rescheduled for the UFC Atlantic City card. It is off. Dominic Reyes had blood clots in his leg. He had pains in his leg and had somebody massage it. He said, which could have been a horrible decision later. But they were able to take care of it. I don't know exactly how that goes. I don't know what they did. Um, he says that he will not have to retire and that it was caught early and that he will be able to continue his career that way. My immediate thoughts before I could even finish reading what he said was that he's going to have to be on blood thinners. And if he wants to come off of them, he's going to have to come off of blood thinners when he goes to cut weight. Like, man, I just don't know how all that will work out for him. I think some of that sounds a little crazy to me. But I wish him the best, I wish him the best. I hope that I'm not correct. That seems crazy to me.
Yeah, blood clots are very serious. You could definitely potentially die from them. There have been athletes in other sports who have retired because of blood clotting. It's very unfortunate. So yeah, you got to take this shit serious. It's not about fighting at this point. It's about your fucking life, man. So I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he's good, man.
100%. Like, I got no ill will. That seems crazy. Like, I guess I don't know his specific situation, so I shouldn't overspeak it. It just seems a little crazy to me.
Where was
Um,
it at? Was it in his legs?
in his legs, yeah.
So I know this is an MMA space, but Chris Bosch, back in the day, NBA Hall of Famer, he was great. Same shit, same exact shit, dude. He thought he was gonna fucking die. It was very unfortunate, bro. This is like the fucking same situation almost. It's weird.
Yeah, I feel for him. Like, that's crazy too. You're just training one day and you feel like you got a cramp, or he didn't describe it that way. He just had pain in his leg, and you go in and they're like, you could be dying or whatever. Like, that's fucking insane.
Nah, amputation. They just they kind of cut off your leg or wherever the blood is sometimes.
Yeah, but to an athlete, that is death. You know, to them, that is. I shouldn't say that, but to them, that is fatal to who they are. Yeah, I just feel for him. I hope that it all works out great for him. From there, I have. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for those. That's what I thought. So, real quick, over here is.
Jam it, baby, jam
Hey
it.
guys, it's Darth again. We're about halfway through tonight's show, so I just wanted to take a minute and tell everyone about our website, capmma.com. Cap MMA is the best place to get your MMA moneyline odds. Here's a few reasons why you should check it out. Our odds board is tied to over 50 sports books with live odds and offers a side-by-side parlay calculator. Simply turn parlays on and check the compare box, then select as many fighters as you'd like. Want to build different parlays with each book? No problem, just don't check the compare option. On top of that, we offer live rankings from the UFC, PFL, Bellator, and ONE. UFC leaderboards, betting tools, links to the most recent headlines, and a resource gallery to help you find anything you need that we don't have. You never have to leave the odds board for any of it. And it's totally free. capmma.com. Check us out.
Okay, so I need to tune that one in a little bit, right? Like, I can admit that.
Again. We're about
And now he's repeating it. But I'll get it, and we're going to use them, and you guys can laugh at me, but we're using them for the intros and for the middles. I got to tune his speech. He got that one wrong.
Joe, I gotta say something, man. When you do that shit, do a little singing. You know what I'm saying? Do a little, hey, what's going on, everybody? You know, not just talking.
You do some singing. I'm not doing no singing. You sing. Send me the audio.
Can we get the female back? The female back? The voice of the female?
Kimura?
Joe
Kimura,
look like Taylor Swift over here.
hold on. Which one? Hold on. We got options.
Nah, Taylor, go ahead and sing, bro.
I get them so often, I should be used to them by now.
That one? We can use that one. He said, give me back the chick voice. You're a fool, bro. Anyways, so on to the bigger conversation points. We got about, I don't know, we got a little time left. We're not really pressed yet. So credit to the MMA Hour and their listeners for this topic. I did not catch the listener's name, the guy that submitted the post. I guess I should have, but I just remembered it and threw it in here. So it is what it is, man. But if you watch Ariel's show, I think from Monday of this week, he takes questions where I think people pay to have a subscription for him to answer questions, which I think is like the biggest dickhead fucking thing I've ever heard. But so I think people pay to be able to talk to him on his YouTube channel. And then they get to submit questions. I don't know. He does this other thing where he writes too. There's all types of way where he makes you pay to talk with him. But anyways, somebody submitted a thing posing a change in the way MMA is scored. He posed by scoring each round over all three cards individually and then tallying that for a total score. So the way that would be explained is if round one, if two judges scored it a 10-8 and one judge scored it a 10-9, then individually round one would be scored as a 10-8. If two judges scored round two as a 10-8 for fighter A or 10-9 for fighter A, and one judge scored it for a 10-9 as fighter B, then it would be scored individually for fighter A. But each round would be looked at. He gave some examples where it would have changed the outcome of the Grasso Shevchenko 2 fight, the Kara France versus Amir Albazi fight, the Sadiq Youssef versus Brad Tavares fight. And I think he said So he asked New York Rick, New York Rick gave the example of Emmett versus Cater that it also would have flipped the results of. So I don't actually like it, but I thought it was something I haven't heard before. I hate when people go, it's fresh, it's new. Like, I fucking hate that, but I hadn't heard it before. So I thought about it for a little bit. I think it's good food for thought. But I do like the way we do it. Andrew, I hope you were listening, because you got any comment?
Yeah, like the problem that I have with that is you're basically just shitting on a third judge, and you're basically saying, well, fuck your opinion because these other two guys agree. So therefore, your opinion no longer matters, and we're just going to overrule you. So at that point, what's the point of having judges? You know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't make. I don't know. I just think it's fucking silly. I think if I think sometimes what people do is, you mentioned a couple of fights. I think people see a couple of fights and then they automatically think something needs to be changed. Maybe sometimes it does, maybe sometimes it doesn't. But I feel like sometimes people want to overcorrect things that just don't necessarily need correction.
And I think it was New York Rick. It could have been Mysterious Frank. I don't know. One of them kind of indicated that this has already been being talked about somewhere, like on some discussion forum or something somewhere. This has been being talked about for a little while. It was like New York Rick expected him to give the Emmett versus Cater example. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess people are talking about this. I don't see how it helps anything, to be honest. I don't. I think we need judges that, it might seem like, well, then you're training them to be the same, but like, is there like a legit, like, elite judging school where you can go and learn and be taught and then set out? Like, I know that might seem, it's kind of like, well, are you rigging it? But like, to some point, we want them to know the rules. We want them to score it correctly. I want to see 10-7s when they're justified. They're written in. It's written in a way that they should exist. We should see them, and we don't. And like Marab should have scored a bunch of 10-7s against what was the fight where he got like 800 takedowns? He got 40 takedowns or some shit.
It was like right before Aldo, right?
Yeah, damn it. Who? All right, I'm not going to make everybody wait while I look it up. I should have had that prepared, but anyways, sorry. I tried clicking around and got my search engine all up and everything. Yeah, I'm just going to stop that. Now I got to get back over here. God damn it. I try not to have technical difficulties when I'm doing this. All right. Anyways, fuck that one. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys. The UFC has a new sponsor, Riz Pharma. I kind of looked Riz up. I noticed their logo, and I'm like, well, who the hell are they? And I noticed that none of the reporters did. Like, I don't know. That's weird. You guys are supposed to be the MMA reporters, and I had to go to the UFC's website to find out about it. But Riz Pharma is a company that is dedicated to giving all Americans access to essential medications for affordable prices. And it is a multi-year partnership. So I don't know. Hopefully they are the good company that the UFC wants them to be. And then, all right. So after that, there I have. Okay. So did everybody see the big Bellator announcement? Nothing? Crickets?
I did.
That's what I wanted, was crickets, bro.
What's a Bellator?
Bro, so they put out this fucking announcement. I wrote it up. The PFL announces the championship series with Prime, time broadcast, with Prime for overseas broadcast. Yeah, I can't figure out if, so they're doing primetime broadcast overseas. So I can't figure out if they're going to be delayed, though, because when they did that before, they like tape delayed them for the United States or something. Anyways, so they put out that there was a big announcement coming, and then they announced that there will be 8 cards with, it'll be the championship series, and there'll be a champion on every card. I swear to God, if you go watch the Don Davis fucking interview with Ariel Helwani, he already told us all this. He told us about this whole thing. He told every one of us about everything in the announcement and that it was coming. Dude, these guys are failing out of the gate. Andrew, they're your favorite company. What do you have to say to defend them?
I can't always defend them, dude. Like, I know I like to exaggerate a little bit on my fandom for the PFL. I still like them, but I mean, yeah, they don't always do things the right way, and I definitely disagree with things they do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I really wish. So I think I I don't know. It's like some of the fighters are kind of pushing back at them, but none of them are saying too much publicly. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. I just don't see how the Bellator thing was a great move for them, and I don't see how it builds the brand. My personal opinion is that they should dump PFL and become Bellator. They should
Fuck
dump it
out of
all.
here.
Dude, nobody cares about your seasons. They're shitty tournaments. They're shitty tournaments.
Nah, brother.
Bellator's been running successful eliminator tournaments for years. Put Scott Coker in charge. Shut your mouth down, Davis. You don't get to be Dana White. You told us a story about how you were sitting on your toilet and fantasized about being Dana White. It's not what he said, but it's what he fucking said. Fuck him. Yeah, like it's fucking stupid. Nobody wants to watch your seasons of fighting. It's shitty tournaments with guys that can't always make fights and fucking steroids and no drug testing and nothing to secure that it's coming. And yeah, that's how I feel about Don Davis and his company. So, whatever. He got, who did Marab get all those takedowns against? So he shot. Wait, on UFC stats, he don't have any fights where he got a bunch of takedowns. Oh yeah, he does. Peter Yan. There it is. He got 11 takedowns and shot 49 of them. Sorry, I don't mean to double back, but now that I figured out why my screens all disappeared and shit, I was able to double back. Yeah. So, anyways, there is shit for the 10-7s there, and Marat. That was the example. Anyway, I won't triple back on that or whatever. I was one of my screens completely disappeared. I'm honest to God, it didn't like shrink or like go up in the bar.
It's
It
a
was just fucking
Clemson.
gone. Whatever, man. I got 8 different windows open because I'm fucking ADD. All right. So Dana White did not attend UFC Vegas 85. Instead, he attended a DAZN boxing event featuring Conor Benn versus Peter Dobson. Um, It was noted that he had a business discussion with Eddie Hearn and got to meet the famous Irish boxer Katie Taylor like it was an honor for him or something. Get the fuck out of here. Dana White also recently attended a meeting with Hearn, and I believe it was Ben. And he had a meeting with David Feldman. I don't think Dana chose to attend a boxing event instead of a UFC event. Because he wanted to see Conor Benn or Peter Dobson box that bad. If we've seen him have screens, we've seen him watch boxing during UFC fights. We've seen him do it. It's not. It is whatever. It fucking is what it is, right? I have to believe Dana was working. I do not know 100% to what capacity or what's going on, but I have to believe Dana was working. He was there working, whether it was scouting. He wants to help. He does want to promote a few boxers. He's made that clear. Um, Whether it was whatever it was, I gotta believe he was working. Yeah. Andrew, you got any comment on that?
I don't. I'm sorry, man. I don't have anything on that. You there?
Oh fuck! I was muted. My bad.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, don't tell me this. Oh shit.
No, bro, I was muted. My bad. I was muted. Shit. So David Feldman also, who also had a recent meeting with Dana White, said that he considers Dana White an ally now, and that he doesn't consider MMA competition for BKFC. He sees them as different sports, and is concentrated on building his own sports. He also then announced that BKFC will be doing a reality TV show. For one, I'm watching. For one, I am. Just to put that out there, I'm definitely fucking watching that because I watch Tough. If I'm lame enough to watch Tough, I'm lame enough to watch that. And but I think that shows maybe some of what he talked to Dana about, some of what Dana was willing to help him with. And where I'm going with this is if Dana White is put in a position where he needs to be willing to show face, the UFC needs to show face and do some and be friendly with other promotions, have allies, people they help, things they do. Eddie Hearn um, and BKFC are the perfect the perfect person and the perfect place. I know that they are not the same thing, but Eddie Hearn in boxing is, he can help Dana send some fighters back and forth, maybe help some guys box, show that he helps guys after their career if he works something out where he's comfortable working with Eddie. And BKFC, the same thing. We know he already let Cham Mendes go over there. I want to say someone else is still under contract and got to fight over there too. And he can let them go over there and he can show that he plays with, he doesn't hold his athletes back. He's just not willing to lift his competition by sending athletes over there. Yeah, I don't know. I think all of that spells pretty good business for the antitrust suit. I don't know. It may be me reaching, but I don't think it is. I think that the UFC's only way to wiggle out of the antitrust suit is to basically prove that they were building a product and that there were costs and other things that went into that, and how they took a big negative up front, and that how policies may have been bad or incorrect, but they are now correcting things and changing business practices, and they don't need to dominate the combat market. There's money for everybody type attitude. I think if they could prove that that's who they are now, or over the years that it takes for this antitrust to finish, I think that it can help them. It is worth noting that 1,200 fighters were able to sign on to that antitrust lawsuit, and not a single one of them opted out. None of them. Uh, they knew about it. There were ad campaigns. There were social media campaigns. The courts mandated basically to make sure there was no way that they didn't all know, and certified letters, all types of shit. And every one of them went for it. All 1,200 of them absolutely went for it. So, the UFC is probably going to pay out some money. I do people talk about how it could be the collapse and this, that, and the Ali Act and everything else. I would like to say that I don't see how this leads to the Ali Act. I see how it could lead to where the UFC agrees to share at a higher percentage to fighters, but still is able to keep the government out of their books and out of their business elsewise. Um, and I just, even with that coming in, I don't see how it would break the UFC. And that's, man, I can't remember if it happened in the late 80s or the early 90s. I want to say it happened in the early to mid 90s. But there was a point where some of the retired NBA players sued the NBA. Some of you may remember this. Um, Wilt Chamberlain, I believe, was one of the big names. Maybe it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. they were all met on a court. It was a whole basketball court full of former stars, and they sued him on the premise that, you paid us kind of buster wages, and you made millions that turned into tens of millions, and because you had those tens of millions, you were able to build what you have and make hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions off of us, and we want some compensation for that. We want you to give us some back pay. We want this and we want that. And I believe it came to some terms where the government didn't have to get fully involved, where they came to some agreements. But some of those fighters that were broken and broke and old got some money and some compensation back. And, I don't have any problem with that. I don't. The UFC is pretty up and up. Like when you look at how they do business now, fighters get health care, the PI, blah, 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 suck them off. But I don't have any problem with the fighters getting some compensation. I do think one of the things that they're trying to prove is that the UFC used dirty tactics to pay them less. When you're in that type of business where you're bidding for people's work, people are always going to ask the most and you're always going to try to offer the least. That's the nature of the business. If you gave them everything they wanted, it would only take a couple of years before they took everything you had.
Bro, people negotiate deals in every fucking job. Like, this isn't just fighting. This is like normal people shit too, bro.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
It's completely normal.
Yeah, I'm not ignorant to this is my point, because I'm not a fighter. Like, don't tell me I don't understand. Motherfucker, I do understand. You go in, most people want to raise, if they want $1 an hour, they ask for $2 an hour. You get what I mean?
Dude, that's just negotiation tactics 101, bro.
And them talking shit about the fighters in their personal emails and texts, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no law that says you have to talk nicely about coworkers or employees or your boss, or there's nothing anywhere that says you have to speak about them nicely. There's nothing anywhere that says you have to speak about them nicely in your company email. You could talk about them however you want. They can choose not to do business with you if you're a shitty person to them. Yeah, so like I don't see how I see how the UFC's got a lot to stand on, but I do think that they could throw some money back to the way of some broke fighters that did some things for them. But like, that's got to all be post Zuffa. Anything that happened prior to Zuffa has nothing to do with Dana White, Endeavor, WME. What's it called now? TKO? Is that what it's called? So yeah, that's what it's called. It just doesn't have anything to do with them. But I don't see how the fighters get much more than financial compensation. But they're after like $1.6 billion. I can't even, like, I just don't even see how that's realistic. I'm sure it would be divvied up various ways to various fighters and various people getting paid. But like, yeah, it's $1.6 billion in compensation. Like, I just don't know exactly what they expect. Do you want to bankrupt the UFC to get what you have coming? Like, I don't know. It's like 1,200 people get $1,300,000 a piece on average or something. I just punched it in there. I could have did that.
How much is the UFC worth?
The UFC itself is worth probably $6 to $8 billion.
Okay. Yeah, so
But
they're asking for like 25-30% of their shit. That's wild.
in liquid, bro. Liquid.
Yeah.
You got to understand, when you talk about what the UFC is worth, they have a lot of assets too.
Of course.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yep.
can't. It's crazy. And yeah, I don't.
It's like when people like rob someone and they want to know like sell them their house for money. It's like, bro, I can't just fucking go to the store and sell it. Like, it doesn't fucking work that way.
Yeah, bro, and
I
like
can't
people
just go
are.
to the fucking bank right now, even though it's closed, to get my money. Like, no, dude.
And what about when they were $45 million in debt from when they bought it, at putting on shows, doing everything they could, and you were out there as the talent supposed to be bringing it in? Did them motherfuckers work for free? Like, I just don't understand. You never hear them say, I didn't get paid. You never hear them say that. You never hear them say, the UFC didn't pay me what they agreed to pay me. I never hear it said. What I hear said is, I shouldn't agree to fight to do it for so little. Well, that's your fault. College students shouldn't agree to take student loans. They do every day. It's your fucking fault. I don't know. Maybe I lack empathy on this one, but like,
No,
I
I
do.
agree with you, bro, because at the end of the day, everybody has a choice. And yeah, if you make a choice, you got to live with it, bro. There's actions and consequences.
And like, let's be honest. It's not like all these fighters would have, if you gave them $45 million and said, you can take this money or you can build this sport, they wouldn't have built the sport. Like, I don't know how, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a dick and then we'll move
So,
on. But
so let me ask
no,
you though, like usually when someone sues somebody, it's never anything good, right? Like and I'm not saying even they should, but these people don't give a single fuck about the UFC. They want theirs. Anytime someone sues somebody, it's because they want something. That's what suing is. Suing is either I didn't get what I want, so now I want it, or if you get like hurt or something, you want compensation. Like I understand that, but yeah, you don't sue people you like, bro.
well, like, let's be honest. Like, so here's what nobody wants to call this, right? It's a little bit of an entitlement lawsuit. We're entitled to that. You owe us.
Right.
We went out there and we fought. We went out there and made you money. You lost them money too. You got everything out of them when they were losing millions of dollars. You still wanted everything you could get out of them. Where's all the text messaging and the emails between you and your managers, the fighters? You're like, oh, like the Bloody Elbow posts all this shit where they're like, fuck him and fuck that guy to each other in these messages. Like Dana White said, fuck John Jones. We don't know why he hasn't commented. You think John Jones didn't text message his manager? Fuck that little bald head bastard. I'll beat his ass. Like, what do you think? Like, fighters were over there talking fucking nice to their manager and their mom? Bro, they were sitting at dinner going, fuck Dana White. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's so ridiculous of a double fucking standard that they're jealous that the UFC had the longevity and fighters don't. And it's not the UFC's fault. They are not fighters. They were never fighters. So like, again, maybe I lack empathy, bro, but like I don't see it. I can understand throwing back a little bit, like you sell the library on all their stuff and now that stuff matters. Back then digital content wasn't even really a thing. Fighters didn't know to negotiate for those rights. Like I can see figuring out how to get the old guys some financial compensation. Um, but like, bro, man, I don't have a lot of it in me. And when these guys, when you hear them talk, they're either say the UFC was mean or they say, I didn't know what I was doing. To be honest, they didn't know what they were doing either.
Joe, let me ask you something, and it's kind of like a two-part question. What do you think about it, and how much would it cost? So for like people who retire from the UFC, and I'm sure there'll be levels like after so many fights, you'll get like these insurance benefits, post fighting. Like, is that something that's doable?
Yeah. So like when you buy healthcare for major, like for group like that, the UFC would basically buy a group plan and have a major provider where they essentially have 1,000 open contracts at all time or whatever. I don't know what the cost would be, but like they're already paying for healthcare for all the fighters that have contracts.
But that's what I'm saying is like I think instead of just giving these people who haven't fought in a really long time just like some shut up money, like give them something they can actually use. That way you can kind of prevent lawsuits from happening moving forward, and just give them insurance because I bet you they'll shut up after that.
Yeah, I agree too. Give them some good insurance and give them some money. Give them some royalties. I don't think give them some money. Give them some royalties. Figure out what the package on some of them royalties may be. Some of them might cash out big. Some
Yeah,
guys
that
who
makes sense. I
you know,
like that.
like some guys might cash out big, but if nobody knew who the fuck you were, why are you getting anything? Like, it is prize fighting. They were building a prize fighting organization. They will be able to prove their card structure and everything that happens, that despite the rankings of it being a sport, prize fighting is still the principle of what they do. And because sales have to exist, they're not sustained. Like, listen, I love the UFC. I talk about how great and grand they are. They're not sustained like the entire NFL. And if you think that, I don't know who the Kansas City Chiefs could fill their own field and play themselves 44 weeks a year and sell that bitch out, you're absolutely fucking crazy, bro. Like, they couldn't do it. But the NFL is a whole. It's more than one team, one construct. It's a group of constructs. It's a group of training institutes. It's a group of, you understand what I'm saying? And like the
The
UFC is
NFL
not,
is an umbrella. You have one huge fucking company followed by a bunch of smaller companies or businesses that
and
follow
the
their structure
UFC
of rules.
and the UFC is definitely bigger than any of those businesses that fall under that umbrella as individuals, but they're not bigger than the NFL. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
not like,
I think the number one most valuable team is the Cowboys, and I want to say it's like 6 billion or somewhere in that general area.
yeah, when they sold at what they were back then, bro, they were the most, it was the most expensive acquisition of what would be considered equivalent to like a franchise or whatever ever. Like, it was just, so like, I don't know. There's a ton that goes into it. I'm starting to get lost in it a little bit because I'm going back and forth and I'm still trying to keep on pace here. I'm watching the clock like crazy. I'm trying to keep it to 2 hours a week, and we got like 6 minutes. I really thought we would bust this one out. Now I'm starting to skip around. Anyways, I think that the UFC will be able to do exactly what you said. Here's some health care. We'll give you some plans. We'll pay for it till you die. Here's some royalties for you guys that are famous enough to still sell shit. Here you go. But you guys want to know something honestly, and I'm not being an asshole. If you sold Dan Severn jerseys at every single UFC event, you still wouldn't sell a lot of them. If you sold Chuck Liddell jerseys, if they were like cool Iceman, like remember his shorts, you know what I'm saying? Like if they did something real themed and it said Liddell and like they really went all out on it, you could sell them for like a year or two probably, but like I don't see people buying Liddell jerseys like they're Michael Jordan jerseys or Kobe jerseys, and like Anderson Silva, like, because you can still get his shit. Maybe not currently, but when I was going, you could still get his shit. Like I don't see fans walking in there and buying old school merchandise, old school memorabilia. So like, as much as I say it, like maybe that's probably dead in the fucking water too. I don't know, man. I know them guys need something. I know they all got beat up as the UFC became what it was, but it's not like the UFC knew they would become an $8 billion or $10 billion fucking you know, like they just didn't know. I don't know. Anyways, I rambled about it for a little bit. Rumors that 165 and 175 are being introduced into the UFC seem to be growing because DC is talking about it now. DC has talked about it 2 weeks in a row, I believe. It was a bullshit post that came out, in my opinion, but the legislation had been passed. It was really weird that we talked about it, and then a couple hours later, it got posted. I messaged J-Spec Rob, and I was like, they heard me, and he was like, literally or some shit. Like, whatever. But it kind of it came out. Somebody posted it that didn't seem super credible, that the UFC was gonna do 165, 175, Connor and Chandler or some shit. I don't know. And but DC picked up on it, and he's talked about it twice now. He thinks that if somebody significant like Connor needs to be tied to it to get it going and make it significant, which I guess because guys will pile into the division for a mystic fight that will never happen. I'm not exactly sure why Connor should be tied to it. DC rambled on worse than I do about it. And yeah, I still couldn't fucking tell you why. But I am super, super 135, 145, 155, 165, 175, 185. I still like the 205 jump. I think at the size that a lot of them guys are, 20 pounds is more significant there. But I wouldn't even be mad if it went 175, 190. 205. I wouldn't even be mad if they moved it that way. But I really want to see the divisions. I got 100 reasons why. Andrew, how you feel about 165, 175 becoming a thing?
I don't know, man. Like,
well, wait, before you comment, just think about where Kevin Lee fits into all of that.
Okay, so I don't care about Kevin Lee, first of all. And I would never form a division or two for a select number of fighters that I have in my mind. I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like slowly fighting is kind of becoming like boxing, which I'm not a fan of. I think this is a boxing type thing. I don't like it. I really don't.
So, like, fighters.
There's
like,
going to be so many divisions, bro, and then you're going to have people holding like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking titles. It's going to be fucking dumb.
It only adds one division, though. It moves 170 to 175.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's what it does. It
Right.
removes 170. That's the way, because it's been passed.
But see, here's the thing, though. But here's the thing is it starts with this. And then we're talking about doing 215 and 225. And then we're talking about doing heavyweight and super heavyweight. And then next thing you know, we're talking about like all these other divisions they're going to create.
The reason I have to disagree is there's not enough talent there. They can't divide that up. When you look at 155 and 170, 170 could still be a strong division. If it was at 175, a few guys would be able to make it down from 185 to kind of fill in what you lose. 155 would suffer the most, to be honest, because there would be no one really, there would be no coming down to it or whatever. But if you look at guys like Islam, who is big for 155, he's 165 now. Kobe, 165. There's a lot of guys that would fit. If you moved it to 175, there's a lot of guys that would fit, and you would fill in a very nice 165 division. I think against the guys that would fill in at 165, it maybe even DP could compete. And I'm not saying he's the ideal guy, push everybody, because I don't think Justin could. But I think DP's got the frame for that. I just feel like there's a few guys that could move up and fill it in, and a few guys that could move down and fill it in the top 10. And I think down in the lower end, we wouldn't miss too much the guys that fill in the top 20 there. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I would be excited for it to happen. And you know what? Let me ask it to you this way, Andrew. If you could move to 165, 175, or keep having BMF fights, which one would you pick?
I mean, If I really have only those two options, obviously you know which one it is. But
They got to sell all those cards. They got to sell 14 cards a year now or whatever it is. So I'm just saying, like, which one would you rather have? More intercontinental titles or more titles?
no, I get you. That's fair.
Connor J.
Yeah, I actually don't mind having more weight classes. It's not even like if it's like what Andrew's saying, where it gets like 205, 215, 225 or something like that. That's kind of ridiculous. But just adding pretty much 165 and then 175, I don't mind that. Having Connor, I don't know if they're saying like having him fight for the inaugural belt for 165 is pretty ridiculous. They're just like really trying for him to like chase that like three weight class champion kind of thing.
Oh no,
It's kind of
Connor,
silly.
you know who would get that
But
165 strap shot. It's your favorite fighter, bro. He's getting that.
well, thank God that we know that he can't fucking win any of that shit. So it's all good. Don't gotta worry about that.
You guys talking about coaching.
Yo, Andrew, straight up, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way. If the belt was on the line, I would beat Colby in that fight. All that's gotta do is the stipulation has to be a championship fight. That dude loses, straight up.
So it doesn't matter who it is what you're saying.
Nah, dude, I could walk out with like no arms. If that Bruce Buffer says for the welterweight championship, dude, bet me, bet anybody.
Colby's done. All right. I can't argue. I mean, is he 0-3 now? Besides his interim title shot?
0-3. 0-3.
He
So
got the
You
Joe,
gotta
interim,
love it.
though.
You gotta
He
love it.
got the interim, though, and we know how you feel about old
That's
Tommy
true. Hey,
Aspinall.
no, that's true. And that's surprisingly, or sadly, actually, is his best win is against RDA. RDA, a great fighter, but then Coley would go on to say that Kamaru beats up guys like Gilbert and Jorge, who are lightweight. So, just kind of contradicting, hypocritical for him to have his best win be against a lightweight. But who am I to say?
what would you name the 165 division? Like the super lightweight or some shit? So we can be more like boxing, like I already said.
No. So lightweight would be 155. Welterweight would probably be.
It would have to be. It would be so weird if welterweight went down.
So here.
Yeah, the thought of a weight class changing its weight but keeping its name just kind of sounds strange to me.
Well, that's happened already. That's happened all over the UFC.
What do you mean?
Well, of course I'm blinking, but like, a bunch of
Has
the
the
weight
light
classes.
heavyweight ever been called another division besides light heavyweight?
I think that's the only one that has not. There used to be lightweight. Didn't lightweight used to be like 170 or 185? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, bro.
Not that I remember. I feel like lightweight was always 155. You just had really small ass dudes at 155 because they didn't have smaller divisions. Like, you remember back in the day when fucking what's his face? He just fucking he just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. What's his face? Jens Pulver, right? Like, look how fucking tiny he was. He's clearly a bantamweight.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I can't. They moved some of them, bro. You got me looking for two things now because I want to remember that. But they definitely moved some of them. Here we go. This is probably what I'm looking for right
So
here.
if they made like any changes, like I don't know, pre 2005, then I would have no idea because I didn't start watching the UFC until like I don't know, 06, 07, something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. Is like by 08, some of them had changed. And I'm trying to remember which ones, but by like 08, 09, some of them had changed. So the first two UFC weight classes were UFC lightweight and UFC heavyweight. Yeah, so that's all it was before. It was heavyweight and lightweight. So you either over the limit or under the limit. And lightweight is now 155.
Got you. So you're talking. Okay, yeah. But when was this?
UFC 31 is when those ones became official because there were none before that.
What year?
So, 97.
Yeah. See, that's clearly way before my time, so I get it.
Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah, 97. I was 6 years old. I didn't even know what the fuck fighting was.
all right. All right. So the way it works is 165 is called super lightweight, 170 is welterweight, and 175 is super welterweight. It was done that way by the refereeing or who the body that sanctions all that shit. Big John did an in-depth interview about it probably 2 or 3 years ago by now. Time goes so fast. Where he said just nobody will do it because fighters won't train for it because the UFC doesn't offer it. So like it doesn't matter if all the other promotions offer 165, 175. If the UFC offers 170, 155, 170, 185, that's what people are going to train for. So, and he's right. And the names do suck, right? But like, I feel like you could maybe just use welterweight, the term welterweight at 175, and then maybe just call it superweight at 165 or something like that to try and shorten it up. But whatever. I still want to see the divisions. I don't give a shit. I don't care about that. I think it would be healthier for the sport. And if you're going to charge me for 14 fucking pay-per-views a year, or whatever you do nowadays, give me fucking more weight classes. Andrew's talking about you don't want cruiserweight. Cruiserweight is 225.
See, when I hear cruiserweight, I think small because the only time I
So,
ever heard cruiserweight was with like WWE, and they were like 175 pounders.
so the sanction, whatever the sanction set is, the official weight classes are. Atom weight does not fall under the unified rules. It's not there. But straw weight 115, flyweight 125, bantamweight 135, featherweight 145, lightweight 155, super lightweight 165, welterweight 170, super welterweight 175, 185 middleweight, super middleweight 195, light heavyweight 205, 225, cruiserweight, heavyweight 265, super heavyweight no limit. But Big John's point back then was none of that matters because the UFC doesn't have to do that, and if they doesn't have to change, and if they don't change, no one else will. And they couldn't. It's not like they can ban 170. It was already sanctioned and used and already exists. It's not like they can just go back and say we're banning it. I mean, I guess maybe they could, but the UFC's probably got enough money to get them all fired and have a new commission that they own that's ran by a former CIA or FBI intelligence agent or some shit formed in your place or something. I don't know. They kind of did that to USADA. Anyways, yeah, so I would like to see the 165, 175. I think it would be great. Last thing I got, John Anik says his contract is up in 2026, but he hopes to extend. But he will not be the guy that does it into his 60s and prevents someone else from being able to have the job and grow and experience what he's got to experience. John Anik's a pretty cool guy. That is pretty much the space for the night. Due to a couple requests, before we split out of here, I am going to. We're not going to break down the card, but Andrew, I do want to ask: are there any particular fights you're looking at for this weekend already?
Without pulling it up right in front of me right now, nothing besides the main event, really. I'd have to pull it up. Give me a sec. Let me see.
All right. Well, I got it up. We've got Hermanson Pfeiffer, Ige Feely, Gregory Rodriguez, Brad Tavares, Michael Johnson, Darius Flowers, Petrosian versus Rodolfo Vieira.
That
Is
should be
the
a good one.
That will. I want to see what Michael Johnson does, bro. I thought Michael Johnson was cooked, and he hasn't looked bad. And so I am kind of excited to see what Michael Johnson can do. I'm excited about Joe Pyfer. Like, I'm legitimately, I can say that I am betting the fight to go the distance no on that fight. And I'm definitely betting Joe. I like to separate them, though. Why put all the eggs in one basket when you can separate? Um, so I do like that one. I think it's a really good fight night main card builder fight for Joe Pyfer, and I think the UFC is specifically trying to build a star out of Joe Pyfer, and I don't think anybody in here is really going to argue with me. You can if you want, but I think they are specifically trying to build a star out of Joe Pyfer. So under that, what they're calling the prelims would be Trevin Giles, Carlos Prats, Demir Hazovich.
Demir's out.
Oh yeah. You just went through that one. Luma. Oh my God. Luma versus
Loma.
Bruna Braza. Listen to me. That's like a free over. That's free. I don't care what it is. That's free. That is super fucking free. I fucking hate Luma, man. I don't know why people like her. God. I can't stand watching her fight. I know I'm a dick, whatever.
What kind of last name is Look Bone Me?
Yeah, you guys been talking about Loma? Dude, fucking Usman loves her, bro.
I know.
I told you, he likes the most random fucking people ever.
Bro, Luma, I fucking hate watching her fight. Look at him down there, thumbs down. Fuck you. Thumbs up it. You like her. Pragniow versus Devin Clark will be a good fight, in my opinion.
Oof.
Yeah, I think that one. I think we'll see a finish there.
That's so low level, bro.
Yeah, I still think we'll see a finish there. I still think we'll see it. Max Griffin versus Jeremy Wells. I hope for Max. That's what I can say. Yeah, I like Max. Max has got to be getting older, though. I don't have his age in front of me, but fuck.
Bro, they're both old. I want to say Max is like 38 and Jeremiah is like 36 or 37.
Damn, I thought he'd be like 33, bro. 32.
I'm pretty sure Jeremiah Wells is older because I think he got into MMA late.
No shit.
Let me double check. Jeremiah Wells is 37 years old.
Damn, bro. Yep. I thought, man. Well,
no, he just started late, bro.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then Max Griffin, I want to say, is like 38, 39, something like that.
Yeah, Max been around forever, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Still be a fun fight. I really like Max. I've met him a couple times. I actually really like the dude. So, and I do enjoy watching him fighting. I probably will skip the betting, though. If I'm being real, I'm probably not putting no money down on that fight. I like Max, so yeah, don't bet him. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't bet how you feel about a fighter. Zach Praga versus Bogdan Gaskov.
You talking about Paunga?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your tough guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not as high on him as everybody else, but he's probably getting this W. Like, he's probably getting this W. He's in good shape, good space. I've seen his interviews. I know he's training. I remember seeing a clip not that long ago. Like, Zach's looking good. I can't say that I've seen anything on Bogdan to counter that, but I feel like Zach's looking good, and the UFC probably wants him in the W lane anyway. So, yep. And then Melsik Bagdasarian versus Haidir Emil. Why do I not know who Haidir Emil is, bro? I don't. Who the fuck is that? Is he a UFC fighter?
He's about to fight this weekend.
He fought. Oh, Dana White Contender Series Season 7, Week 2. Got a UD over Emra Sunsmere. Yeah, I can't really say that I know too much about that. Bogdan came off of. That's right. I do remember Bogdan. Yeah, so Zach's gonna beat that dude. Zach's not good, but Zach's gonna beat that dude.
Hey, I was gonna say Bogdan sucks. He's like old.
He does. I remember that guy. I just clicked this shit. Like I remember that dude. He fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's
I'll probably
old.
take
Eh?
Zach
He's
there.
old. He's got like 100 fights and he's lost like 99 of them.
Arichi Lang's fighting Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos all day in that one. Anybody tell me any reason why I'm wrong on that? Yeah, I didn't think so. What's the odds on that one? I'm sure it's on the board right now. I haven't even really been over there. I've been working on the site. So Wells is, bro. What the fuck? Something's wrong with the Zach Praga, Jeremy Wells odds. They can't both be super negative money, bro. All the other fights are correct. Why is that fight all fucked up on all the books? Huh. It says they're both minus money, like decent minus money, and it's at all the books, but everything else is right. What the fuck? Well, I know what I'm doing after the space. Let me refresh this shit.
Which one are you looking at?
Well, I just noticed it on the Praga fight was my issue, and it pissed me off. What do you got the Zach Praga fight? What do you got the odds on that at?
Zach Paunga?
Yeah, whatever.
Paunga is minus 130, and Bogdan Guskov is plus 110.
Plus 110. Oh, there's a fighter missing here. That's the issue. Oh, because someone pulled out and the board's updating. Damn it. All right, so the board is right. The matchups are temporarily incorrect because of the Demir issue. All right, well, that sucks. Hopefully that corrects itself by very
Dude,
fucking soon.
Devin Clark is minus 220.
Yeah, minus 217 globally.
Okay,
And
I don't care if Devin Clark was fighting a telephone pole. I'm not betting him at minus 220. There's no fucking way you can do that. That just seems like irresponsible.
I can't disagree. What's Max Griffin at? Plus 136? Man, I might like Max for that. I don't know. I'm not betting it. I already said I'm not going to bet it. I'm not going to bet it. Anyway, I want to know what Arichi Lang's at. That's what I came over here for. And then I seen that the board's got an issue and got off.
Arichi Lang is plus 210.
Man.
I'm not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another one. Are you betting Daniel Marcos at minus 260?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Bro, come
I'll
on.
take him.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Yeah, I'll lay off that one for sure.
All right, what's Bagdasarian at? Let's see here.
Bagdasarian's not fighting.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We just went through this, right? Those odds have not updated. Yeah, I haven't looked much into it. I'll probably try to have a good 15, 20, 30, 20-minute breakdown each week at the end. Maybe we can work on that. I've gotten a couple DMs seeing if we could hit it a little bit. So I'd like to do that for everybody. Other than that, bro, that's pretty much my space. That's all I got. Andrew, you got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. I appreciate everyone for coming. We'll see you on Friday night at 7 p.m. West Coast is the best coast for Fight Week Friday.
The East is the best coast, actually.
No. See, the East Coast is the least coast.
The East Coast is the beast coast. Fuck off. But yeah,
Hey,
guys, check out the Cap MMA YouTube page on check
uh,
out the YouTube page it's called Cap MMA. Oh, we got some TikToks up there that Usman's been killing it with, and I think it's the best listening experience if you're going back for replays. You could scrub it, up and forward to your liking. Just the quality there. I just think it's better visually. It helps you see what we got up on the board. When we're making our picks and stuff. I usually just click who's the most favorite pick. From the fight. From the crew, and that's usually how we end up with what we got over there. I mean, I'm not saying to parlay all of it. It's usually just to give you a quick rundown, of what the picks were. But besides that, you got your resources to help you cap your own fights, and to help you make your own decisions on what you do. And there's headlines, to catch all your MMA news all in one spot. So Cap MMA is the website, and then Cap MMA for the YouTube. But yeah, if you're fucking with us on the Twitter, then give us a little subscription. It all goes a long way. We're trying to get on that algorithm. Trying to crack the algorithm is like it's way different than it is on Twitter. But for sure, it all helps. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I was muted out when I was going to tell Andrew. I was going to plug, but good shit. I was going to tell Andrew that the problem with the West Coast is we're halfway done with our day by the time they get out of fucking bed. They're like,
Dude, I'm telling you, like, if I lived on the East Coast, I genuinely don't know, like, how my fandom would be. Because I'm fucking telling you right now, I am not staying up until 2 a.m. to watch some fights. There's no fucking way. No, not every fucking week. There's absolutely no way I'm doing that shit.
why do you work on Sundays?
No, but I don't want to stay up that late.
bro, you guys should see when
Because
I go to
because
Vegas.
if
When
I
I go to
okay,
Vegas, Andrew's like, I'm going home. I
Who the
stay
fuck?
up
Who the fuck wants
for
to watch
fucking
football at
2-3
9 o'clock
more
in the morning?
hours. And then I tell him what time we're getting up. And he's like, why are you getting up so early? And I'm like, bro, that's what time you got to wake up. The world starts. And he is not. He likes me, but I don't think, I think there's a little bit of him that's like, fuck this guy and his East Coast bullshit. I'm being honest, man.
Who the fuck wants to watch football at 9 o'clock in the morning? You don't even have a chance to eat anything. I don't know.
10
bro,
a.m. I
so
love it.
I'll
But
be
that's what I'm
honest.
saying, bro. Like I usually wake up between like 7 and 8. I don't like sleeping past 8 because of what Joe just said. I don't really want to waste my day. But I also don't want to fucking wake up at 5 or 6 either. So if I wake up at 7 or 8, I give myself enough time to wake up, maybe get a workout in, and then football starts at 10, and then I got my whole fucking day. Sunday night football starts at 5:30. I'm done by 8 or 8:30, and then I'm in bed between 10 and 11 for work the next day. It's great.
The thing I miss more than anything in MMA is I don't remember how many it was. I think it was 4 a year. Are the 4 Sunday morning MMA cards on Fox when the UFC was with Fox? Do you guys remember that? There used to be 4 Sunday cards every year, bro. I fucking loved those cards.
They should have Sunday fucking fights. They should have,
Sunday morning fights, bro. I'm telling you, they'd kill it. They would fucking kill it.
They should have more than 1 day fights. I mean, either do it like they do football Thursdays or fucking.
I could almost guarantee you if the PFL during football season, non-football season, moved to Sunday at like 12 o'clock, start their cards at like 10:30 or 11, they'd get better ratings than they do right now live. I can guarantee it. I can absolutely guarantee it. People
Yeah,
would
I think
tune in.
during non-football season it makes sense, but I think even the UFC knows better than to go head to head with the NFL on a Sunday. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, so they used to though. They're used to. I think it was 4 a year. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't that many, but they happened, bro. And they were the greatest
I mean,
thing.
they could do it when non-football season starts. I mean,
Yeah,
like right after the fucking Super Bowl, just gets a couple cards going on Sunday.
I'd
I mean,
Well,
be
the
down to watch
PFL
that.
is season based, so they could just plan their season around the NFL because they're
Dude, I would
season
love that.
based.
Because, dude, on Sundays, I don't have my daughter on Sundays. So then when football season's out, I'm not doing shit on Sundays. So if I could watch some fights, that'd be fucking awesome.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was like one of the heyday things for me that I miss the most. Where I'm like, man, I really wish they would go back to that shit.
So you would want it to be like those ABC cards then, in terms of like the times.
Yeah, just a
I got
couple
you.
of them a year, bro. Just give me a couple. Like, I fucking like them, man. I like them a lot. So, like, ending at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon is fucking great. I had my 6 hours of fight. It started at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I think it is sincerely fucking fabulous. Yeah, I would love it. And it's not that I have a problem with Saturday nights because I'm getting old and I don't give a shit. I got 5 kids. I'm home anyway. My kids go out. You know what I'm saying? But like fuck, dude. I would rather have Sunday morning. It's nice to get up, get some breakfast going, have the fights on. Do what you're doing, carry your tablet around, then fucking take over the TV, tell everybody to get out of the living room. It's nice, man. It's nice. That's all
But
I
like,
got.
how do you guys on the East Coast like function, right? Because it's like I'm not even talking just like MMA anymore. I'm talking other sports. So it's like if you've got baseball that starts at 7:15 West Coast, that's 10:15 where you guys are at. And the football games are starting at like 8:15, 8:30. So that means like on the regular, not just like on special occasions. That means on the regular. If I were to live there, I'd be watching sports well past midnight every night. And then I gotta fucking go to work at 8 in the morning. Like, how do you fucking people do it?
But
I
you
love
miss
it, man.
everything too,
The more
though.
We don't.
the more
But,
sports I see, the better I am.
but what I'm saying is like so the first thing we do is we don't whine and cry about it. The second, the second thing is listen, bro. Like when I come out there and you're like, bro, how do you go, 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 go? Listen, it's just built like that, right? Like, so when you're from out here, you perceive West Coast people as like mellow, slow pace, Texas folk, California folk, not in a hurry. Life
Yeah,
comes,
there's slow
dig
pulls,
it.
man.
I'm just saying, like, life comes, no need to rush. It's fine. We'll get there when we get there type people. That's not how we are out here, bro.
You gotta move.
Listen, it's 12:30 here, right now, 12:28. If I'm lucky, I'll be asleep 1 a.m. If I'm lucky, I'll be sleeping at 1 a.m., right? Um, I will be up at 5:55 no matter what. It'll
Yeah,
be
and you're
two,
mad for that.
it'll be 2:25 your time no matter what. I could DM you just so you know it's official, but like I'm gonna be up at 5:55. If I went to bed at 10 o'clock though, I'm getting up at 5:55. See what it is it's not about staying up late. It's about you have a time to get up. You choose to do whatever the fuck you want, but you got to get up at that time. So
Right.
deal with that. Like that's I'm trying to explain it. You're like, how do you people do it? Like I know, all right, fuck, I'm gonna stay up till 12:30 watching this game. I gotta be up at fucking 6 in the morning. Whatever. All right, 5.5 hours. Yeah, I'll deal with it. Like we've learned to make that compensation. I don't know a better way to explain it to you. Like you
No,
make
but
those
I get
choices
it.
on a
But
regular
here's the
basis.
thing though. You grew up that way. So you don't
Oh
know
yeah,
anything different. You know what I mean? Imagine
100.
going from one change to the other. That's an extreme change.
Yeah, bro. I'll be honest. When I'm out on the West Coast, and it even feels like not only are we out west, everything even opens like a little bit later. Like, what the fuck are you people waiting for? like, like
I think
everything
COVID
here
changed a lot of
opens at
shit.
like everything here opens at like 5, 6, 7 a.m. Right? There's so much shit out there that's like doesn't open till 10, 11,
What the
12. I'm
fuck
like,
opens at 5 or 6 a.m. that isn't a coffee shop?
uh, restaurants, daycares, some auto shop drop offs. There's doctors' offices that start at 6:30 in the morning around here.
So doctors
Fact,
and
all
mechanics are 8
factory,
a.m. plus. But like restaurants and shit, those are open.
all factory workers. Day shifts start sometime between 4:30 and 6:30 in the morning. Like factory life's different, you know. So like Those factories run 3 shifts a day. So you start at 5:30 a.m. so you can get the fuck out of the way for the afternoon shift.
But
Yeah,
they
don't
do that
forget
here.
don't forget about the clubbing too, man. Clubbing till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. That's the shit right there. Get fucked up, go eat something at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's very, very popular. Like the diners will stay open. Some of them don't close till that later. They're 24-hour.
Yeah, you go to a fucking hot dog stands, the hamburger joints. They're like $3 for a burger because it's after hours. They want you to come in and pick up their business. I mean,
It's
I love it.
So it's funny too. Like Vegas, you think of Vegas, you're like, yeah, Vegas, all night party, right? Nah, bro. Everything in Vegas, even on the strip, if it's the weekdays, that shit closes up at like 9, 10, 8 o'clock. You're like, whoa, wait, it's
So it's
closed?
not that early, but yeah, ever since COVID happened, a lot less
Bro,
things are
so
24/7 and shit. A lot of things are
almost
closing earlier.
almost all of the restaurants on the strip that are not internal to the casinos are closed by 10 p.m. now, Monday through Thursday.
That's
Probably
that's
Sunday through Thursday.
that's
Yeah, I
crazy.
believe that.
Yeah, but you just don't think of that way when you think of Vegas. You're like, then they're probably open late. No,
But
some
that's
Hey,
what I'm
bars don't
saying.
even.
COVID changed everything, bro, because before COVID, it was like that.
but they pump all that oxygen into the casinos. They make you fucking wake up and stay up all fucking night. Have you ever noticed that?
I mean,
Yeah,
Walmart's used to be
great.
open 24/7. Grocery stores used to be open 24/7. And now dude, Walmart closes by like 10 or 11 o'clock at night now. But that's because of COVID. Ever since COVID, everything shuts down a little bit earlier now.
So I don't go to Walmart's, but I use Smith's, and most of your Smith's close, and um, most of them used to be. I don't want to say most of them. I know more of them used to be 24 hours.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I know you're not lying because I've been coming out there long enough to remember before COVID. But um, still, even back then, not everything stayed open, like late. There was still a lot of shit that closed down. And I just remember feeling like, damn, I guess it makes sense on Sunday or Monday, all that shit would be closed. But you just think everything here opens late, it's going late, it'll be open late. Nah, you West Coast motherfuckers are like, we're going to get up late and go to bed early. I don't know what do you guys do? Why do you sleep so much?
Dude,
What?
you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep a day, bro.
Dude, just because some book said that does not make it fucking true. They
But
were
I
like,
really enjoy
sleep
sleep,
8,
man.
work 8, party 8. You'll be great. What?
Dude, do you just not like sleeping or what?
Bro, you don't even need 8 hours of sleep.
We're just built
You'll
different, bro. It's just,
you'll
man.
So
get
here,
play
listen,
you'll get plenty
somebody
of sleep when
challenged
you're
me,
dead.
somebody that I respect a lot enough to actually do what they said to me. Um, said to me when I was in my early 20s, I want you to, back then I didn't have a cell phone. It was just an alarm clock. But he said, what I want you to do is I want you to set your alarm for 6 hours and 5 minutes after you get in bed to go to sleep every night. He said, that's 5 minutes to fall asleep. You can fall asleep if you're tired. I said, yeah, that's fair. He said, I want you to do it for 3 weeks. He said, and then I want you to stop if you want to stop. He said, but I bet you that you will feel better. Your body will physically feel better. Your mind will feel better. You will feel more crisper mind in the mornings, less groggy. He named off a bunch of benefits. And I was like, man, fuck you in my head. And then, I don't know, that was like on a Friday or a Saturday night that he said that to me. And Monday morning, Sunday night when I went to bed, whatever time I went to bed, I think I stayed up a little later and got up a little earlier, but I did exactly what he said. And I did it for 3 weeks. And I never went back. What a waste of life. You're groggy. You're over rested. Most people actually need to sleep like 6 hours and 20 something minutes to 6 hours and 40 something minutes. That's the amount of sleep that most people need until they hit unless you're young, still growing, or as you get older. But like when you're in the mids of your life, when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s, You don't actually need that much sleep. Some people do. You can go get a sleep study, but if you actually read about it, you don't need that much sleep.
But see, I just think it's whoever you talk to, though, because I've heard that before, but I've also heard that you only need 4 hours of sleep. If you get 4 hours of sleep a day, you'll be completely good to go,
So here's what I
won't
would
have
say.
any deficiencies.
Don't you find it like
But that's not sustainable. So what I would say is, if you have to do that on a day, 4 hours gives you enough time to go into REM sleep. It gives your body enough time to absorb oxygen. It gives your body enough time to do all of the things that it needs to do, but it's not sustainable. Meaning, if you do that Monday through Friday, by Friday, when you don't have to get up for Saturday, you will oversleep. I guarantee it. You will oversleep. But if you do 6 hours for 3 weeks, and you may need an alarm after that because you're not, and I'm not insulting anybody here, you're not quite disciplined. So do it maybe an alarm for 6 weeks. I can guarantee you that after you're 3 to 5 weeks in, you will go to bed on Friday night and you will wake up 6 hours later on Saturday morning. You won't need an alarm. It's just what your body will do. Um, and I know that because when I come to Vegas, I set an alarm and I know that, I'll probably be up 20 minutes before this alarm, and I am every time. Like it's
Joe, what time do what? Okay, so you wake up at 6 every morning, right?
most mornings. It does vary. It does vary, but
What
between
time do you go to work?
5:55. What's that?
What time do you go to work?
Uh, shift starts 8:30.
Okay, so you basically wake up and lounge around the house for 2 hours before you go to work.
Absolutely not.
So what do you do?
I have 5 kids, Andrew. I have
Okay.
5.
plus you got to make your lunch, you got to
So
make
my
your
first
bed.
kid
So
has
you're
to
talking
be
about like
up.
getting them ready for school and stuff.
Yeah, my first kid has to be up at 6:55. So the kid gets up, I get up. The kid gets ready, I get ready. Take that kid to the bus stop because I don't let her walk because it
Good.
is still very dark outside. So I
Gotcha.
drop her off at the bus stop. And it's on a main road. Her bus stop is on a super main road. Um, so I drive her down there. I wait for her. I head back. The other kids don't start school till an hour after her. So those kids now get up. In the meanwhile, my wife has woke up another kid, gotten herself ready. He's gotten ready. When I get back, she takes him to a different school that we can't get him bused to while I get 2 more of them up. And yeah, it takes about 2.5 hours to get all of my kids up to their schools and me to work. That's what it
So
takes.
basically, what you're telling me, and this, tell me if I'm wrong, but because your oldest kid is like 15 years old. You've obviously been in this schedule for a while. Um, fuck. Oh my god, I just lost where I was going with that. Oh yeah, from what it sounds like to me, the reason why you're waking up is because you have a purpose for it. There's a reason for it. Doesn't sound like you're waking up just because you want to wake up and fucking smell the air. It sounds like you just have shit to do.
Yeah, but if I could opt for the sleep. I don't need the sleep. I know if I
I
hit
got you.
about 6 hours most nights, I'm fine. Like, so I'll be shorted, right? I'll be shorted like an hour tonight, right? Whatever. I might feel a little tired, not 100% peppy first thing in the morning. I'll be fine about an hour after I get going, and then it'll be fine from there. And the hour that I miss will not affect me to where I'm oversleeping other days of the week. It just won't happen. And like, don't let me get, bro, don't get me wrong. There's days where I sleep 7 or 8 hours. It's just most of the time I woke up after 6, took a piss, and said, yeah, I'll go back to sleep for a little while.
Gotcha.
Just how it is. I don't know.
Yeah, like dude, I would say 2-3 days a week I have to take my daughter to school too. So I'm waking up at 6:30, 2-3 times a week. But again, I'm only doing that because I have to. If I have the option, there's no fucking way I'm waking up before 7 a.m. If I didn't have
So what time? So you're single, right?
yes,
So what time do you get your daughter up for school when you have to take her?
about 6:35.
Okay, so what time do you work?
Pretty much 8 to 5.
So what time do you work out?
Work out when I get home from work
Why don't you work out at 5:30 in the morning?
because I'm not fucking waking up that early.
Why not?
Because I don't feel the need to.
Hey, a
So
quick
Because
question.
here's the thing: if I'm waking up that
you leave
fucking early,
yourself a chore. You leave yourself a duty, a responsibility that you're going to have to go serve, no matter how hard your day at work is, or no matter how easy it is, no matter how your day goes, you have to go serve that principle because of some moral value. When you could just get up and knock it out every day, you know what it is? It's the same exact thing every single day. You could get up, knock it out, and then go on about your day. Why don't you just get your things done?
because that's too early, and then I'm shifting my schedule, right? So it's like now that I'm waking up, an hour and a half earlier, I'm gonna be tired earlier in the night. And dude, I'm not 80 years old. I'm not going to bed at fucking 8 o'clock. Like that's just way too early for me.
Why would you need to go to bed? If you get up at 5:30 in the morning, you should fall asleep around 11:30 at night.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm waking up at 5:30, I'm not lasting that long, bro. I'm gonna be dead.
Bro, like it's not like, listen, cardio and energy efficiency isn't built like in the gym in a week. Like it's something you have to work on for a couple weeks, and then you build a tolerancy, and then after I said like 3 or 5 weeks, you'd be like, I can't fucking believe I used to sleep my whole life away. Look at it this way. If you sleep 8 hours a night, right? Every single night, and then opposed to 6 hours a night. If you move to 6 hours a night, just 6 days a week, you get an entire extra day every 2 weeks. An entire 24 hours of functioning time that you did not sleep. Not 24 hours where you got to sleep 8 out of that and work 8 out of that and drive for an hour and a half out of that and hit the gym for an hour out of that. No. It's an extra 24 hours in your life by only sleeping in one time a week. Every 2 weeks, 12 hours a week. You know how much you can get done in 12 hours a week? Bro, you can do every chore you have, start a remodeling project, get your grocery shopping done, drop your kid off, pick your kid up. You still have more hours left. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you, bro. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it's great. The Rock does that shit. He wakes up at like 4:30 every morning, and then by 8:30, he's already accomplished his whole fucking day pretty much. So I get it, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a personal preference, and I choose not to do that.
And yeah, and all I was saying is like people on the West Coast do not seem to do that.
Yeah, I think for something like that, it depends on people's like lifestyle and their goals, right? So it's like a lot of athletes do wake up early because they have a real major purpose and they realize the amount of work they're going to have to put in. You know what I mean? I can honestly say I don't have anything like that at this moment in time where I'm that fucking motivated to get towards, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't feel the reason to do that.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I don't know. I feel like around here it's expected. If you're like, oh man, I want to start working out, at least half the people around here would be like, so are you going to start getting up in the morning? You know what I mean? Like it would be, I don't know. And like it's not a shot or anything. Like we were just talking about the difference between, you're like, how do you people function on 6 hours and shit? It's just, I don't know. We look at it differently.
Yeah, it's just
Probably
a
because
lifestyle change. That's all.
we have to stay up to see it all. We don't have a
Right.
choice.
Right.
We have to. You motherfuckers can sleep in and hear about it when you wake up and not care because you didn't miss the cool shit last night. Nobody wants to miss the cool shit last night. We can all get the stock report. Who gives a fuck, right? Anyway, I've been done, bro. We've been babbling. Whoever stayed in here this long is absolutely fucking awesome. Cap MMA, I'm not going to plug it. Friday, 10 p.m., we're back breaking down fights. Trace runs a tight ship over there, but fuck, we've had fight breakdown spaces go 5.5 hours when we don't. So I can't be mad at him for it. But that's all I got. Andrew, thank you for hosting, bro. Eat less sandwiches, motherfucker. That's all I got. I'm fucking with you. That's it. I'm done.